Hi guys, welcome to another Thursday night live stream. Thanks for stopping by. As you will probably know, if you've seen my preliminary little thumbnail I usually put out a couple of days before I'm due to go live on Thursday, this week we are going to be broaching the controversial subject of all this tampering around with Roald Dahl's books and watering down James Bond for the politically correct woke readership. I think it's ridiculous myself. I mean, I've done 2 videos about this already, expressing me fury and speaking. I know for the vast majority of people who absolutely loathe all this messing around with traditional stories. I've just been reading about Disney. Even the wokeness has spread to them, because this new movie, what they're bringing out, Peter Pan and Wendy, a lot of people dislike it, you know. And also, I read while we're on the subject of Disney, Minnie Mouse, you know, she's had that attire for years. It's the red spotted dress, the yellow dress with the red spots. Well, apparently she's getting a makeover now. She's going to be wearing pants or a jumpsuit. It's just pathetic, isn't it? You know, a lot of people in America, from what I've been reading anyway, they've been complaining about the way Disney is going. Yeah, but I don't want to go into too much about this. I don't really know the ins and outs of it. But the vibes I'm getting at the moment, they're just appalling. They really are. So if any of you guys want to broach the subject of Walt Disney, or indeed any other examples of this stupid bloody wokeness that's plaguing the world, air your views. You've got the opportunity, guys, to air your views in this live stream. Yeah, but having said that, I'll also be open to other subjects as well, about films and that, horror movies, what you've been watching. So don't take this as an indication that I'm excluding everything else. This is the main subject, cancelling Roald Dahl and James Bond. But having said that, I'm open to discuss the usual subject as well, like, horror movies and that, what you've watched and that, or indeed any other movies, yeah. Alright then, guys, so let's just get the show underway, and I'll just have a look at these comments here. Just bear with me. I should say, guys, I had one idiot on before. I won't go into detail, but I had to shall we say, cancel him right away, because he was, his first comment was, I didn't like his comments. So don't come on this channel mouthing your crap. Clear off, crawl back under whatever dirty stone you crawled out of. Don't want any nutcases on this channel, or any foul mouths. I'm just not going to tolerate it. So any potential clowns, be warned. You're not welcome on this channel. All right then, guys, let's get the show on the road. Walk on, always believe is saying, "What's your Alan? You okay, mate? Hope you had a good day." Yeah, not too bad, thanks. Yeah, it's my birthday yesterday, so yeah. It was my birthday yesterday. I'm now 28. Oh, I wish I was 28 again. Getting old. Oh, what price me? But yeah, thanks for dropping by again. Yeah, always nice to see you. To see you nice. I don't think Bruce Forsyth would be very happy he was alive and seeing all this bloody, pulverising of traditional shows and, books and that's going on. And Walt Disney, and I think he'd be turning in his grave as well. What they're doing to it is his product. Walk on, always believe. Sorry for not being on your lives for a few weeks. Oh, it's okay, mate. No worries. My back, neck and knees have been getting worse, but I feel a little better today. Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear you're feeling better. So we wanted to pop on and see how you and everyone is. Hope all as well. Oh, thanks very much, mate. Yeah, as I say, I hope you're feeling better, and take care of yourself anyway. And yeah, you're welcome on my channel anytime, as indeed all you guys are, and that, building a nice community here. And I always look forward to doing me live streams when I can, on a Thursday night. So yeah, cheers, mate. Golfing for winners. Roald Dahl and Ian Fleming win. Oh yeah, I don't really want to get into any heated arguments. I've got my opinion. You've got yours. We know all about them. We didn't know the men personally, so who are we to judge them? So you can't sort of just say he was this, he was that. So I don't want anything of this sort on the channel. It's just going to be a general debate, an open debate. I don't want anybody pointing the finger authors that have gone and things like that. If you didn't know the men, so you can't really form an opinion of them. There's good and bad in everybody anyway. So I'm not supporting anything, by the way, and don't put words into my mouth if you're going to, because I'll put you off the channel. I'm not tolerating this crap. So any more of this and you're off. Sorry about that, guys. You always get one or two on, don't you? We've all got our opinions on this bloody lunacy that's going on now. We're cancelling everything. So, you know, those that want to cancel things, they are in the minority. They are a very, very tiny minority, and we can take comfort from that fact. And the only way to beat all this crap is to not buy the books. Don't go and watch the films. That way, they will die a quick death. So don't buy the books. Don't watch the movies. Put a stop to all this madness. The only way we can hit back is you've got these ones in power now, in these offices and that. They're just making these stupid decisions. They're making decisions what people haven't complained about. You know, it's just crazy. I mean, for instance, Roald Dahl, you can't say fat. Oh, people say fat all the time. Come on, get a bloody life, will ya? You know, and you know, as far as like other things are concerned, like Disney and things like that, you just the mind. It's just completely beyond belief what they're doing. You know, they're driving decent sense of people away from the theme parks. You know, and people just don't want to go and watch the movies anymore because of this bloody stupidity that's proliferating all over the world. It needs to be stopped, and the government needs to put a stop to it. You know, I mean, if I was the Prime Minister, I would put a stop to it right now. Make no bones about that. All those books are part of history, and I know I'm echoing the views of thousands of people here. All those books were part of our history. Roald Dahl, Ian Fleming. Why are you erasing our history, goons? Sorry about that, guys, but I'm not having any crap on this channel tonight, because if there's any more of it, I'm going to terminate the live stream, so be warned. I don't want any nutcases on this channel tonight, so I'm not going to tolerate it. There's enough bloody nutcases in the world as it is. Give me strength. Beam me up, Scotty. You're not welcome on this channel, so clear off. Clear off. If you don't like it, you know what to do. If you don't like me videos, you know what to do. Don't watch them. Don't watch them. If you don't like what you see, don't watch it. Everybody's got their opinion, and I'm just saying, I know I speak for the vast majority of people when I say that trying to erase our history is total bloody madness, and it needs to be stopped. I don't care if anybody on here disagrees. That's your funeral. I'm just saying what I think, and a lot of celebrities have spoken out against it as well. I've mentioned them in my videos, so don't come on here trying to say to me this and that, because I'm not having it, I'm afraid. I'm just not. This is supposed to be entertainment, and I'm not having idiots coming on here ruining the stream for everybody else. So you'll just be zapped. I just won't even talk to you. I'll just zap you off. So be warned. Anyway, guys, enough of that. I've had a few rants this week, so... I'm not going to get into any more arguments anyway. Just want an enjoyable night tonight. Got no time for pea-brains. Hiya, Jeff. You okay, mate? Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, evening, Alan. Very good evening to you, mate. KW, hi, Alan. Hope you are well. Well, apart from the odd, shall we say, comments or two, which I had to sort of like respond to. I'm not too bad, thanks. Hope you are as well. Brian's saying, happy birthday, Alan. Oh, thanks very much, Brian. Yeah, thanks, mate. Nice to see you again. Happy 40th birthday, Alan. No, it should be happy 20th birthday, Jeff. I've stopped counting now. Yeah, I don't really look, to be quite honest, Jeff, I don't really look forward to birthdays now. To be honest, you know, I don't really, like when I was at school and that, you know, it was all exciting and that, you know, because it meant, another year, I'll be leaving school soon. But now, as you get older, well, this is just my opinion, I don't really look forward to them. You know, I like the presents and I like the cards and that, you know, and, you know, have a little drink and that, you know, but apart from that, I think a lot of people feel that way, you know, about birthdays and getting old and that. It's not something I'm really looking forward to, you know, but hey ho. Right. Gina's here. Hi Alan and everyone. You okay, Gina? Thanks for dropping by. Nice to see you again. Horror Hands is here. Bryn. You okay, Bryn? Thanks for dropping by. Hi Alan. Hi everyone. Yeah, nice to see you. Yeah, hope you've had a good week. Managed to pick up some good horror movies. I'll be watching your pickups later on, by the way. Always look forward to that. Yeah. I'm going to put one on myself as well. I've done my birthday haul as well, so that if it's not on tonight, it'll be on tomorrow. So yeah. Cheers, Bryn. Thanks for dropping by. Brian's saying hi to Gina Walpole. Yeah. Brian Gilson, hi Bryn. KW, happy birthday Alan, thank you. Gina Walpole, hi Brian. Horror Hands, hi Brian. Jeff saying, I was watching old Dick Emery shows on YouTube, used to love Dick Emery. Yeah. And you couldn't screen any of that on TV now, but it was very funny. It's bloody stupid, isn't it, Jeff? It really was. You know, it really is. You know, oh, that sketch what he used to do at the Yob, where he says, Dad, I think I've got it wrong again. That would be very, very applicable. Very applicable to these idiots that are ruining our books. They're ruining our movies. They want to make James Bond a bloody wimp in a skate. Give me strength. James Bond has always been a tough, macho, secret agent. So why would you want to weaken his, well, you basically weaken his manhood, really, And I don't think if Roger Moore and Sean Connery were alive, I don't think they'd approve of all this craziness. It's just ridiculous. Who wants to watch a James Bond movie or read a James Bond novel where he's like wimpish, and he's got like these, identity crisis crap. Oh, come on, but give me a break. We've had enough of all that. You're seeing it now with Disney. People don't like it, They just don't like all this woke lunacy, and I just hope it implodes on itself and people see a bit of bloody common sense and get back to normal and start making the kind of movies what people want to see. Just makes me blood boil, guys. It really does. I certainly won't be buying those new James Bond books when they come out, or the Roald Dahl ones. Facing the facts, you're a dinosaur. First time I've been called a T-Rex. Yeah, well, we don't want any more of this, please. I've said this before. I'm not having any accusation, finger pointing at me. This is an entertainment night. I just want people to sort of like hear the views without pointing the finger at anybody on this channel, and that's including me, and that's including you guys. So I don't want any finger pointing. Say not just me, but I don't want any finger pointing between you as well, because if it gets out of hand, I'll just press the off button, and that'll be it. I'm afraid. So I see enough of these idiots on other YouTubers' channels and that, it makes me blood boil, the crap they come out with, they think they know it all, well, bloody know sweet FA, to be quite honest with you. Everybody's got an opinion, they think they know this, yes, they should be censored, you're talking about a book that was of its time, Casino Royale, Thunderball, they were all, as people have said this every night, I'm not the only one that's done videos about, messing around with James Bond and that. Other people have said it, Piers Morgan, even royalty's been drawn into it. Leave the books as they are. Don't touch them. You're just what they're trying to do, guys, I think they're trying to erase our history, and that is very, very bad. It's really bad. Soon, we're going to, they're trying to sort of like paint a rosy picture. Everything was hunky-dory, no matter what century you go back to, everything was nice and sweet, sugar smelling. Oh, do me a favour, as I said in my videos, clear off. They need to have a mass purge, guys, of these officers. These ones that's getting in and giving the orders, employing these sensitivity readers. They need to get rid of them. What sort of person would want to be a sensitivity reader, spoiling people's pleasure? After all, they're only stories, aren't they? This is what gets me about these wokes. These ones that's changing everything. Oh, you can't say ladies and gentlemen when you board an aeroplane. What a load of bloody BS that is. What are you supposed to say to them? Welcome individuals, That's bloody stupid, these airlines and that. I hope some of them are watching, some of the bosses are watching. They want to, get back to normal and stop all this bloody gender-specific rubbish. It's doing me head in. Walk on, always believe is saying, thanks Alan, I put I put someone in timeout. Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah. Can you guess what classic comedy they wanted banning? I read about it last year. Oh, come on! They're not going to ban. Do you want to ban Only Fools and Horses? Has David Jason heard this? Apparently, it's offensive and racist. Oh, that's bloody new. They're going bloody nuts. There's something missing up here. There's definitely something missing with them. What's about it? That's the latest. That well, do we want to ban God next? Well, I think they are trying to ban God. If you ask me, the way they're going on, they're bloody stupid. All these more celebrities need to speak out about this rubbish. They need to make a video. They need to make a really good video and put it on YouTube and say enough is enough. We're having none of our traditional stories whitewashed. We want it. We want the stories as they were originally written. Those books were of their time and they should not be tampered with. And I've even sent messages to the people responsible. Of course, I've had no reply yet. You know, so there you go. Jeff Joffrey, well said, Alan. Oh, thanks very much, Jeff. Yeah, glad you agree with me, mate. Nina, I wonder what books they will target next. Yeah, most probably all of them. Yeah, they're not too happy about this Tinkerbell, are they? Tinkerbell, they're making the Tinkerbell a black woman. I think what I've read. Yeah, because she's traditionally she's blonde, isn't she, with big blue eyes, Tinkerbell, and it hasn't gone down very well with the people who go to see the movies, yeah. So I think Disney have shot themselves in the foot with doing, with this madness, this utter lunacy, the history will be crap. We're not going to have a history if this is going to carry on. I just hope it implodes on itself and they lose millions and millions and millions of pounds. That'll teach them. And as I say, I won't be buying their crappy books when they come out in April, Now, the Roald Dahl books, James Bond books, any other kind of book that's been tampered with. And with me being a writer, I publish a few books myself, and I've got that sort of cements me desire all the more to see all this rubbish stopped. I would hate to think anybody tampered with my books once they're gone. I'd make it my business to draw up a contract saying don't tamper with my books. And what's puzzling me about it, guys, I don't know what you think. The Ian Fleming estates, the very ones closest to Ian Fleming have authorised this. They've give their assents for sensitivity readers to go in and comb through every word like a fine tooth comb, or should I say a rotten tooth comb. Combing through every word in Dahl's books and say, oh, you can't say that. You can't. They're just basically looking for the least little thing, guys. It's just bloody, it just angers me, guys, when I bring it up. They're just bloody. Oh, I could use a stronger word, but I don't swear on this channel. But I could use a very, very strong word to describe them. Brian's saying, Brian's saying, don't worry, Alan, your subscribers and moderators have your back. Oh, thanks very much, Brian, mate. Yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, as I say, the main purpose of these live streams and indeed the videos I put up are purely for entertainment purposes. Now and then, I'm not saying, now and then, I'm not saying it's not healthy to have a little debate. It makes it a bit more interesting, gives the videos a little bit of oomph, if you like. But I don't want any finger pointing, as I said before. I don't want any foul-mouthed finger pointing at me or any of you guys, because that is something I will not allow. And as I say, any fool coming on this channel think they can sort of come out with all sorts of BS and that. Well, I'm afraid you're wasting your time, because I can smell them a mile off. And if I think they're going to ruin the night, they'll be off. Before you can say, can I say Jack Robinson in this day and age? I'll go ahead and say it before you can say Jack Robinson. There, I've said it. So stuff the wokes. They'll be putting what's the name, guys? They'll be putting bloody gags over our mouths next. The bloody idiots. Makes me blood boil. Dr. Impossible saying, sensitivity readers were apparently hired to oversee the changes to the Dahl books. I'm led to believe that this was a collaborative effort with the Netflix-owned Roald Dahl story company. Oh, Netflix, eh? Yeah, I believe they sold the rights, didn't they, to Netflix? Yeah. Oh, I was a subscriber, guys, to them Netflix. I just cancelled it. They very, very rarely they put new movies on, you know, and we're Amazon Prime now. But that Netflix and that, you know, it was mostly bloody TV series that sent you to sleep, you know, bloody boring TV series with boring stories and that, you know, and some of them peppered with bad language, you know. And as I've said this about the bad language as well, a lot of these movies now, every word out of them, every other word out of their mouth is F this, F that, you know. You want to bloody, what's the name? You want to go and wash their bloody mouths out with soap, you know. I'm not being old-fashioned or anything, but I think there's a time and place for swearing. All right, if you bang your fuss or you're annoyed, you've got to, you know, the odd expletive can slip out. You know, when I swear myself when I'm in a mood, but I don't swear, I don't use every other word out of my mouth is F this, F that, as if it's like casual. No, I don't even like to hear it in the street, guys, to be honest with you. I especially don't like hearing it from women either. That is really bad, really bad. But there you go, that's my opinion anyway on swearing. I won't, because I know you all know how I feel about swearing, I won't bring that up if I can anymore. Dr. Impossible, who wears sensitivity readers, I wonder? I know, yeah, that will be kept under wraps. Yeah, I know, yeah, hush hush, yeah, they're doing all sorts of bloody underhanded surreptitious things now, guys, aren't they? You know, they think the public is soft. Well, I can assure them we're not bloody soft. You know, I've got them weighed up, and I'm sure you guys have got them weighed up as well. It's all about money as well, isn't it? Create a little stir. I've got a little story to tell you guys. I won't mention the movie for obvious reasons and that, but in the 80s there was a Christmas horror movie released, and it caused a big stir. It was there was a lot of blood and gore in it, and it caused a big stir. And it's one particular guy. This is what I've read. You know, I don't know the full ins and outs, but this is what I've read. There was one particular guy started it all, and he was saying, you know, you can't allow this movie. It's very bad, especially a Christmas movie. So this went on for a while, actually. But in the end, it turned out that the one who was trying to censor it was the very person who wrote it. He wrote the script to generate publicity, thereby boosting his, his movie. So there you go. You couldn't make that up, could you? Yeah. He wrote the movie. He wrote, this is what I've read. You know, as I don't know the full story, but this is what I've read. He wrote the movie, the script, and that, and then he masqueraded as this really no nonsense censor, and he created a stink. You know, he tried to ban the movie, but it came out. He was the one that wrote it. So in a roundabout way, he was creating publicity for his movie. So there you go. Yeah, just shows you, doesn't it? And I suspect, as a lot of people have said on YouTube, money might be involved in this somewhere along the line, you know. So that trying to sort of like stir up a controversy, drawing people's attention to the books, and they'll buy them. You know what I mean? But there you go. Up to all sorts, these companies. Fishing is brilliant. The term woke is highly offensive and shouldn't be used. Well, it's a matter of opinion, isn't it? My single question is, what does it mean? Well, according to a video I watched, was it Jeffrey Archer? He said the term, and somebody else said it as well. It was first coined in the 1930s, something about to do with black men went on trial. So I don't know the full story, guys. But woke was originally used in the 1930s about this trial of black men or something. And it's sort of like what they've done. They've rekindled it, but they've distorted it, which is obvious, isn't it? Buying harmless things. They've sort of like distorted it to sort of like make it. They're basically trying to ban everything. They ban the bloody air that you breathe if they had their way. Bloody idiots. Everybody agrees with me, guys. Everybody was spoken to. And, you know, people on YouTube, they said, we don't want it. I've watched some fantastic videos, guys, on YouTube about people echoing the very sentiments I echoed in my 2 videos. We don't want all this crap. Leave our stories alone. And I just hope they're watching, or anybody connected with are watching this video and having a rethink and saying, well, majority of the people, they've got a point, messing around with like history and that. All right, like some people might think Bond was a bit of a rough diamond and that, a racist and that. That's beside the point. That was a book of its time. Casino Royale and all the other books. Leave them alone. It's part of history. You could even go further and say anything to do with Jack the Ripper. You could ban anything to do with him and that. Again, that was in the 1880s or 90s. Where's it going to end? You're going to start banning the Bible. Oh, perish the thought. Horrible, horrible the way it's got to this stage, guys. You know, all this this banning of things and that, it makes your blood boil. It really does. They're basically trying to take away people's pleasure. You know, and more people should sort of like say, enough is enough, and don't buy the books and don't buy the movies. Don't watch the movies. And all this crap about ladies and gentlemen on some of these airlines, you know, you can't say ladies and gentlemen. And I believe even Disney and the theme parks, they can't greet the people as ladies and gentlemen. It's bloody nuts, isn't it? You know, when I go anywhere public, over the tannoy, on the train or anywhere, I like to be greeted by ladies and gentlemen. Even Piers Morgan said this in one of his shows. What's wrong with ladies and gentlemen? He said. You know, it's bloody stupid. It really is. Yeah. What are they going to say? Yeah, they're not going to say hello, campers. Heidi hi. I wouldn't put a bloody past them to say that. That's how bloody screwy they are. Oh, tell you guys. Right, back to the comments. Right. Chestnut Seb 7 is saying, happy birthday, Alan. Oh, thanks very much, mate. Yeah, cheers, mate. Hi, everyone. Yeah, thanks for dropping by. Nice to see you again. Walk on, always believe. Sorry, Alan, but I've got to say this. If you're going to be on this channel, show Alan and his nice subscribers respect or you'll get blocked. Well done, mate. Yeah, you're the fly that... Yeah, you'll get blocked. You're the fly that blocks the fly spray, so be nice to Alan. Oh, thanks very much. Appreciate that. Thanks very much. Yeah, and I'll echo that as well. Any funny business, you'll be blocked. You'll be blocked forever as well. I don't want nutcases on my channel spouting crap. Go back to the sewers where you crawled out of. Makes me so angry, guys. Fishing is brilliant. We need sensitivity readers to... Oh, God. We need sensitivity readers to help people feel more exclusive. Fishing is brilliant. I'm being respectful. I just want to... Yeah, we want respect on this channel. We're not interested in argumentative aggression. So, please keep it clean. Keep it reasonable. No aggression. You know, I'm just saying, I don't want it. Can't make a statement with one-side opinion. Oh no, we know that, don't we? But don't stop pointing the bloody finger at people, for goodness sake. You can't see it again. It's creeping into this, guys. You can't say anything without being labelled. Give up. So just end it now. What do you think? Should I end it now? Jamie's here. You're right, Jamie. Thanks for dropping by, mate. It's nice to see you. My Crazy J character has been considered me mocking the disabled. That's bloody ridiculous, that, isn't it? You know, it really is stupid, that. You're only doing it for fun, weren't you, mate? You know, which it never was my intention. Anything gets called out. Your points are very true about Dahl and Bond. Yeah. Oh, thanks very much, Jamie. Yeah. I thought it was. I couldn't believe it when I saw your video and said they'd stopped. They weren't too happy about you doing Crazy J. I mean, in what way was that offensive to disabled people? It's just gone from bad to worse, Jamie. It really is. But yeah, I can see. You enjoy doing your channel, and you like putting the humorous things in and that. But I think I was shocked when I watched your video. Couldn't believe it. It's just ridiculous. I think these are just horrible times what we're living in. To be honest, and that. It's people are getting that way now. When they produce a piece of creative work, they start wondering, will this be accepted? Whether it's a movie script, a novel, even myself when I'm writing my stories, I'm thinking to myself, have I said anything offensive here? And I never set out to offend anybody like yourself. I like writing my stories, both fiction and factual, and I would never, ever, ever intend to deliberately go out and offend anybody. They're just nitpicking, they really are. As I say, it needs to stop. But yeah, I was sorry what happened there. Yeah, it's just ridiculous, it really is. Yeah, they need to get a life, these people. Talk about oversensitive, bloody hell. Jeff's saying, Alan, I'd never liked that Deliverance film. Watched it once and no, not for me, but I'd never ban it. Is that the one with Burt Reynolds in Deliverance? Yeah. I saw that years ago, and I don't remember too much about it, to be honest, Jeff. Yeah. I think it's been on the telly a few times, hasn't it? Oh yeah, guys. Do you remember me saying about it, Enid Blyton? He said they tampered with the famous 5 books, and then once you saw the sales plummet, they sort of like had a rethink and brought them back out again in the original text. But I've read since that they're still trying to have a go at Blyton's work. You know, they need to get a bloody life. They're still trying to, because Enid Blyton uses I won't say what the word is, you know, because you're treading bloody eggshells now, aren't you, with everything you do or say. But there's one particular word when Enid Blyton was especially fond of using, and that's been completely obliterated from her books. You know, which I think is just crazy, and they're still trying to rekindle. They're still trying to rekindle that sort of like hostility now towards Blyton's work. I mean, Enid Blyton. When I was a youngster, Enid Blyton was a staple. You know, of my young reading days and that. You know, I loved Enid Blyton. I love C.S. Lewis, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And if they're going to start going back in, and they're going to next thing they'll be saying Aslan was too ferocious. It's just ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. It's just beyond belief. I never ever thought I'd see days like this, you know, where they're just banning everything. It just needs to bloody stop. Someone needs to start. They need to put somebody in power that's got a bit of common sense up here and say, we're not having all this. You know, it's got to be stopped. It smacks of totalitarianism, you know, and it needs to be stopped. People are only, you know, people are writing their books, they're doing the videos, it's only a bit of fun, it's only entertainment. So why on earth are they seeing, you know, offensive things and that? Even the Carry On films, I've said this before, guys, even the Carry On films have been butchered, you know, because they just brought out, I don't even see it, they just brought out a big special Blu-ray, I think it's in print, of the first 4 Carry On movies. Now, it shudders to think, have they been tampered with as well? You know, even though the early ones, because if they've been tampered with, I don't think I'll be buying them. You know, I just thank God I've got the ones I've got. I've got Carry On Screaming, which I bought. That's my number 1 favourite Carry On movie. I bought that a couple of years ago. I've got that on Blu-ray, and I've got Carry On Jack with Juliet Mills and Bernard Cribbins. I've got that on Blu-ray. So you know, I don't think, well, from what I know, I don't think they've been tampered with. But these new releases, you've got to be very wary, haven't you? You know, because everything they're going to bring out now, you're going to start thinking to yourself, have they tampered with this? Have they as well? Just ridiculous, you know. It just makes your blood boil, guys. It's very depressing. Chestnut 7 is saying, I'd like to ask the actual people what actually offends them in Only Fools and Horses. I know, yeah. I'd like to ask that question as well. Just what is it about Del Boy that offends you? They could even say on the buses was insulting to inspectors, you know. And that's my number 1. That's my number 1 all-time favourite sitcom. On the buses, I've got the whole series on DVD, and I've got Steptoe and Son. That was another huge favourite of mine. I've got Frank Spencer. Some others do have them. I've got Man About the House. I've got all them. I've got all those 70 classics in my collection. And how dare they go back and try to censor you know, great shows like that? I mean, Love Thy Neighbour. I don't think you get that now, can you? You know. I think that's well been butchered and disposed of. You know, they've done the same thing. They tried to ban Gone with the Wind as well, didn't they? Which I thought was ridiculous. You know, oh yeah, it's just beyond belief, guys. Anyway, I'll try and get back to the comments now. Fishing is brilliant is saying, people have feelings. Calling ladies and gentlemen isn't inclusive. Just saying there's 2 genders out there is highly offensive. There's way more than 2. Jamie's wishing me a happy birthday. Oh, thanks very much, Jamie. Yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, thanks. Graham Powell saying, Bond was an imperfect man. Oh, we know that, don't we? Bleeding hell. Nobody's perfect. Bond was an imperfect man in an imperfect world. The books are from a different time. Yeah. Leave them alone. Yeah, exactly, Graham. Leave them alone. If people don't want to read them, then don't. Exactly, Graham. Yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, I couldn't have put it better myself. If you don't like the books, you don't have to read them. It applies with everything, you know. You know, if you think you're going to be offended, don't read the bloody books. Don't watch the bloody movie. For goodness sake, it's common sense. Well said, Graham. Right. Fishing is Brilliant is saying, I think Only Fools should stay I think only fools should stay. That isn't offensive. There's nothing offensive in it at all. I think they're just trying to, you know what I think it is with them guys? They're sitting on the, I've said this before, they are sitting on their big fat, they're sitting on the big fat butts, and they're wondering, what can we ban next? I know, we'll ban a sentence from a 1965 Carry On movie that was rather naughty. It's bloody pathetic, it really is, you know. And as I say, these sensitivity readers, where are they coming from? You know, are they self-employed? It's sort of like freelance, are they? I'd like to know a little bit more about these sensitivity readers and what their bloody game is. You know, I suppose they're getting sort of like millions of pounds dangled in front of their face to make changes that, changing things that don't bloody need to be changed. Oh, sickens you. And he had to cheat to say about Mary Whitehouse in the 70s when she wanted to ban all the horror films and the sex and that. You know, this is 100 times worse, because what they're doing, guys, they're banning things that's just for entertainment. You know, when I watch a movie, when I used to watch the just to give you an example, guys, when I used to watch the black and white minstrel show with my mum and dad in the 70s, I didn't think anything of. I didn't think anything of that was ridiculing black people, and even a lot of black people themselves. They didn't see anything offensive in that. It was just harmless fun. You could even go back and ban Al Jolson for being a blackface. It was all part of history, and Al Jolson, he was one of the greatest entertainers ever. My dad loved Al Jolson. He was actually very good Al Jolson impersonator, my dad, because when it was discovered that he could do a really cracking good impression of Al Jolson, whenever he went into a pub and he saw him, Des, give us an Al Jolson and that. Of course, he'd have to have a couple of pints down him, and had to be a couple of other people as well singing in the bar. But he'd belt out a couple of mammies and that, and California, Here I Come. But he's cracking. He could have been the Birkenhead Al Jolson, my dad. He was that good. Oh yeah, fantastic. And I tell you guys, he loved that movie, The Jolson Story with Larry Parks. Oh, he loved that. Oh, he watched it over and over again. And also, Jolson Sings Again. He loved that one as well, yeah. Oh, yeah, he loved Al Jolson. But yeah, as I say, even loved Thy Neighbour when he used to watch that. It didn't make me want to go out and insult black people. It's just bloody entertainment, for Christ's sake, it's, ridiculous it is. I heard somebody saying about, worrying about, they're thinking about banning Fu Manchu now. I hope they don't ban Fu Manchu. Where's it going to end? Where's it going to end? Don't think Sax Rowan would be very pleased. The guy who wrote the Fu Manchu books, I don't think he'd be very pleased. And Walt Disney, as I said before, he'd be turning in his grave. He would. Walk On Always Believe is saying things should be left exactly. Yeah, they should be left as they are. I've heard people say there should be a warning on the films and books, which I don't agree with. There's nothing to warn about. Exactly. They're bloody stupid. Even putting disclaimers on the front of the book is going a bit too far, I think. It's just harmless entertainment. It really is. There's as I said, there's far worse things they could be sort of like turning their attention to, like all this knife crime. People can't go out and enjoy themselves now without fear of some bloody nutcase pulling a knife out. If there's any arguments in a pub, pulling a knife out and stabbing them in the stomach. I blame the law. I think the law's too soft with them. They're letting them get away with murder now, all sorts, and little tap on the wrist. Oh, don't do it again, you naughty boy. Bugger off. You need to get tough with them. All these bloody idiots that are advocating softly sentences, they need to go as well. They all need to go, and all these idiots that's making these stupid, unnecessary changes to books, they should all be swept away and get sensible people in. I'll get off my soapbox now, guys. I don't want to go on too much, but this, you know what I mean, don't you? You need to get some people in power with a bit of sense. They're just trying to slowly but surely erode our enjoyment from every aspect of life, and it's just bloody stupid. It really is. Talk about 1984. I think it's worse than 1984. I've never read that book, by the way, the George Orwell book. With all this going on, I might put that in my reading list now. Yeah. So I've never read 1984. Right, back to the comments, guys. Fishing is Brilliant is saying No pointing here, just want to give a balanced topic. Understand, mate, yeah, understand, yeah. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm not banning anybody who's got an opinion. I'm just saying I don't want any aggression or any nastiness, you know, because that's, that's not what this channel's for. This channel's main purpose is to entertain and inform and share our love of movies with, with all my friends in the YouTube community. Great bunch of guys I've met on here, I've made some real good friends. And the last thing I don't want any discord, any disharmony, any petty arguments, I just don't like that sort of thing. I don't like it anywhere, really. Petty arguments over trivial things, it's just there. But yeah, I take your point, mate. Yeah, I accept it. Walk on, always believe is saying, to Brian Gilson, agreed. Got Alan's back 100%. Oh, thanks very much, mate. Pete's here. You're right, Pete. Thanks for dropping by. Yeah. Hey, Alan. Hope you are well. I'm not too bad, thanks, Pete. I've had a couple of rants this week, as you know, on me woke videos. But apart from that, I'm not too bad. Yeah. Hope you're okay as well. Yeah. Thanks for dropping by. It's always nice to talk to you. Walk on, always believe is saying, did you receive the ghost books I sent, Alan? No, I didn't get them. When did you send them? No, I know you said you were going to send me some, but I haven't received them. How many was it? What you sent? Yeah, no, I haven't received them yet. Jeff's saying to Let's Get Kicking movies. The scene at the end when John Pertwee is lying in the coffin in the you're talking about the House of Drip Blood. That's a good one. That, yeah, I love that movie. Do you know what? I've lost count of the times I've watched that one. The House of Drip Blood. I love my anthology movies, and I just filmed a video today, guys, about my birthday pickups. It's quite a big haul, actually. So there's going to be a couple of it. I won't give away too much of the content, but there's going to be a couple of anthology movies and that, which you guys might have seen. So so stay tuned for that. If it's not on later on, it'll be on tomorrow. But it's I love my anthology movies. I'm a huge fan of me horror anthologies and that, I love Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, Vincent Price, all those iconic actors, fantastic, yeah. My favourite, I tell you guys, going back to the old 1940s, the black and white anthologies, my favourite one is Dead of Night, the one with the ventriloquist doll in. That's a great one, that, real creepy, yeah. When I first watched that when I was a kid, oh god, that dummy, the way it got up off it when he was in the jail cell and just got up on its own and that. Oh, yeah. Send shivers down your spine. And I'm talking about movies with creepy ventriloquist dolls. That's another good one, guys. Magic with Anthony Hopkins. And have you seen that one? That's a great one, that. I've got the novel as well. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I've got the Blu-ray as well of that in my collection, yeah. So if you haven't seen it, and if you like movies with creepy, ventriloquist dolls, check out Magic. It's a cracking one, that. I used to have way back in the 70s, when it's about I must have been about 9 or 10. Somebody bought me a ventriloquist doll for Christmas. Those ones with the ginger hair, they seem to be very popular then. They were called Mr. Parlachin. And I used to be fascinated with it, but I wasn't a very good ventriloquist, obviously, I'd never, Roger de Courcy, I needn't have anything to worry about, or Ray Allen. Remember Ray Allen and Lord Charles? Yeah, he was quite good, yeah, but yeah, they needn't have worried, because I wasn't a very good, I wasn't a very good ventriloquist, but I was absolutely fascinated with it and that. And what I used to do, I used to get these big, W.H. Smith used to publish these big bumper joke books, and I used to get the joke books, and I used to memorise the jokes, and then when it's sort of like my family were all around and that, I'd get the ventriloquist doll out and start sort of like, telling the jokes and that, but, as I say, my lips, you could see my lips move and that, but it was just a passing fad, really. Quite a few people bought them, those Mr. Parlachin ventriloquist dolls. Let's Get Kicking movies is saying, I'm thinking about diving into the world of Hammer horror films. Oh, do so. You're in for a treat. Can you give me some lovely recommendations? Or I could give you, oh God, Dracula, Frankenstein, Rasputin, The Plague of the Zombies, The Reptile. Oh, yeah, fantastic, yeah. Oh, God, the list goes on. Blood from the Mummy's Tomb, The Mummy, starring Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. Yeah, especially the Dracula movies and the Frankenstein movies starring Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. I'd highly recommend them. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. And while we're on the subject, the Hammer guys, I hope I hope Scream Factory continue to release the they've been doing the Hammer Classics, putting a slipcover on and that, and putting extra features on. So I hope they bring more out, because they're quite thin on the ground at the moment, especially the Dracula films and the Frankenstein, in regards to getting good releases. So fingers crossed, Scream Factory will bring more out. Nina's saying wokery is the result of giving children the keys to the vehicle. Haven't heard that one before. Giving them the keys to Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Most probably ban that next. But I don't want to put ideas into their head, do I? Dake Films, Mike's DVD and Blu-ray collection. Hello mate, thanks for dropping by, nice to see you. Dr. Impossible saying the BBC and the mainstream media promote this agenda, right? I have no problem with black people. I don't have any problem with black people at all, but it seems the BBC are adding black history into parts of British history that doesn't even exist. Oh, it's just stupid, isn't it? Where's it all going to end, And, I bet you most of the black people, it doesn't bother them, these sort of I bet you even the black people themselves are laughing off, saying how ridiculous it is. They're just going a bit too far, in my opinion. They really are. Right, so Let's Get Kicking Movies is saying to Jeff Joffrey, oh yeah, that was some brilliant practical effects and it did give me some scary vibes, but I am looking forward to diving into Asylum. Hey, that's a great one, that one, Asylum, yeah. Oh, it's great, that one, yeah. I like the one with I like all of them, but the one that sticks in my mind was with Herbert Lom, where he's making those mannequins in a cell, and he sort of puts them to his head like that, and he start walking along the floor, those old robots that were popular in the 60s and 70s. Yeah, he's got this mind control over them, and he makes them and that, and he puts them to his head like that, and they come alive. And that's a great one, that. And the one with the one with Britt Eklund in Lucy Comes to Stay, that's a great one, that. Oh, she looks absolutely stunning in that one, Britt Eklund. Yeah, that's the one where I think it's Charlotte Rampling. She's supposed to have a doppelganger. Well, it's like a kind of imaginary friend, but it's Britt Eklund, but she's only imagining it, yeah, that's a great one, that, Asylum, yeah. Well, I think I've said this before, guys, my all-time favourite horror anthology is Tales from the Crypt from 1972. Yeah, I love that movie. I love the Joan Collins segment with the Father Christmas. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, well, they're all good stories, but I've said it before, I've got to say it again, guys, that one with Peter Cushing in Arthur Grimsdyke. Oh, that's one of the saddest stories in horror fiction. The way that guy across the road, that counsellor, tormented him and that and drove him to suicide and that. Oh yeah, really sad, that one. One of Peter Cushing's finest performances. When he played Arthur Grimsdyke. Yeah. Oh yeah, I love that movie. Fishing is brilliant. Don't get me started on J.K. Rowling and her views. The success of the Hogwarts Legacy game shows the world needs change. I don't know too much about J.K. Rowling because I've never been able to get into the the Harry Potter books. I've never been able to get into them. Yeah, so I couldn't really speak much about J.K. Jeff's saying too. Let's Get Kicking movies. The detective was very brave going down there in the dark. Yeah. Great atmosphere from what was a jokey vampire story, I know, yeah, to something scary. I thought, yeah, the detective was played by John Bennett, who was in that 60s series Honey Lane that was a bit like Coronation Street. It was. I don't think it was on for very long, guys, yeah, but I do remember him being in that, John Bennett. Oh yeah, he's very cynical, wasn't he, when he played the copper, and when he's getting told about all the people that had met their deaths when he took this house on, the house that dripped blood. And actually there's very little blood in it, if any, so it was a fantastic movie, especially the one with Christopher Lee, with his daughter, where the mother was a witch and that, and she's got like a voodoo doll. Oh god, that's a really creepy one, that. Fishing is Brilliant is saying, I used to read Rowling's books, but after her views have been seen, I've discarded mine. I refuse to watch the films or anything to do with it. What exactly did she say? J.K. Rowling, as I say, I'm not too familiar with her, with her views on wokeism. So yeah, enlighten me on that. I'd be very interested to hear exactly what it was she said that caused such controversy. I watched the movie the other night, guys. It's going to be in me hall. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's a modern one. It's called Don't Let Her In. It's basically about this couple. The girl's she's like a digital artist, and what it is, she rents a spare room out to this rather dodgy young girl who's into black magic and that, and satanic worship, and they let the room out to her and that, and the husband goes away. Well, I think he's her boyfriend really. He goes away because he's in a band and that, and he leaves the girl on her. He leaves his girlfriend on her own with the new flatmates and that. Oh, do boys take it? Oh, I tell you what, guys, do things take a terrifying turn? Because you start dabbling in the black arts and that, and you hear her chanting these rituals and that, these arcane rituals and that. It's real weird and that, because she turns into a demon. I won't give away too much about the movie, but I didn't like the ending, guys, to be honest with you. But you might like it. Yeah, so it's called Don't Let Her In. So if you go on a site, I think it was a Film Treasures I bought it from. I think it was Film Treasures, yeah. It's called Don't Let Her In. It's, if you like supernatural movies, I think you might like this one. But I didn't like the ending, It started off good and that, renting the room out to the girl and that, but it's very creepy and that, But I'll be talking about that in my pickups video anyway, yeah. I've got quite a few to show you this time, my little birthday haul. Jeff's saying calling someone a man or a woman is now... Oh, I know, it's bloody stupid, Jeff, isn't it? It's bloody stupid. You can't drag anybody to court for calling a man or a woman a woman. What's wrong with these bloody people? I've got to do it again, guys. Something's missing up here. It's like something out of... He wouldn't even see this in Monty Python. I blame these bloody bosses as well. It's took charge. And not only that, as I said about the messing around with the attire now. If you work in an office or in a hotel or on an airplane, you expect the staff to be dressed smart, don't you, professional. They're bringing in bloody jumpsuits and that. They're making the staff look like bloody scruffs. What's wrong with them? If I go into a restaurant or board, well, I've never flew in my life, and I've got no intention of flying because, I've got a fear of flying. But I'm just saying, if you go anywhere like that, you'd expect the staff to be courteous and say, ladies and gentlemen, instead of saying, hey, sir, and they're going to be saying, hey, you, just get back in your seat. So that's going to give them like a rough edge, isn't it? There's going to be no respect, really. They're sort of they're making them sort of that they just drag them in off the streets and just put them in a jumpsuit and give them in a job. It's very bad. It's going from bad to worse, guys. It really is. But yeah, good point, Jeff. Yeah, it's ridiculous. John Beeston's saying, you okay, John? It's gone mad. It certainly has. I have read all sorts of books all my life, and what I hate is someone telling me what to do. Dahl was just explaining the people in his books. As for Bond, loved them, always will. Yeah. Well, this is it about story, isn't it? Story is all about conflict. Why do people buy books and read them? They read them for conflict. They read them to see how the hero fares when he gets setback after setback thrown at him, because you start wondering, how's he going to get out of this one? Because we used to, when we first started watching James Bond, me and my mum and dad, we used to wonder, how's he going to get out of this? The part where I forget the movie, was it Goldfinger or Thunderball, where he's got Bond strapped down like that, and he's got his legs open, and he's got this laser beam, hasn't he, coming towards his crotch. And Bond says something to him, and he says, no, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. But yet, things like that, they're going to try and get rid of. Well, this is the whole point of story. Right? What's the point of writing a story when everything's hunky-dory and nice and sweet and sugary? What's the point of writing a story? For instance, there was a young girl called Jane, she had a very happy family, and one day she met a nice boy, and she got married, and he had a happy ending. Who wants to read that? There's no adventure, there's no conflict, the stakes aren't sort of raised high. That's what story's all about. It's all about conflict, it's all about character struggle, it's all about the hero overcoming evil. If they're going to do away with all that, what's going to be left? There's going to be nothing, absolutely nothing. And I think, I've got to say it again, it's bloody stupid. Utter stupid. And the ones that are implementing all these changes, you should be bloody ashamed of yourselves. That's all I've got to say. What's wrong with you? It's said about Roald Dahl. Did any of you guys see where he said, when he was interviewed, I think it was 1982, and Roald Dahl, he wasn't in a very good mood, obviously, when he said, because he turned around and said, if anybody goes after my stories, I'll send a big crocodile around to gobble them up. Well, that was like a kind of a metaphor, wasn't it? Because I believe he'd written a book, I haven't read it, he'd written a book about a big crocodile, so that was his way of sort of like saying, keep your mucky mitts off my books, you know. I think if he was alive today, I think he would be spitting feathers, he really would. And I think he'd be sending more. I think he'd be sending more than giant crocodiles around to his house. I think he'd be sending, you know, something even worse than a giant crocodile. Right, back to the comments. Fishing is brilliant is saying, just don't misgender someone. It's the kind thing to do to ask them who they are. A man is a man and a woman is a woman. It's like that fella, guys, isn't it? That rapist who he raped that girl, and he all of a sudden he said, "I'm a woman," and he's going to put him in a woman's prison where he'd be a threat, you know, a threat to the women and that. But I believe, well, he brought a law out now, haven't he? The government's brought a law out. You know, they can't sort of like, if he's a man, he's got to go in a man's prison. I don't know the full ins and outs of it. But this is all what I've heard on the news. The government's brought the law out. They've got to go to a man. If they're a man, they go to a man's prison. If they're a woman, they go to a woman's prison, which is common sense. John Beeston saying no. Right, KW. We live in a generation of snowflakes, yeah, where everything is offensive. I know, it's bloody stupid, isn't it? This is what gets me, though. As I said before, they're getting their knickers in a twist. They're getting their knickers in a twist over, you know, mild forms of entertainment and short, pure entertainment. Why don't they get their knickers in a twist and do something about the bloody yobs and the bloody knife crime that's going, the way the knife crime, shocking the way it's risen, you know, and all these gangs and that, you know, corrupting kids and that, dragging them into the drug culture. Why don't they do something about that instead of picking on it, you know, harmless things like, you know, like fairy tales and that? They're bloody nuts, you know, they really are. Jeff's saying, no, keep it going, love the chat. I certainly do intend to keep it going, Jeff, till about 10 or 10:30, depending on how the night goes, how many people turn up. But yeah, I'm not going to terminate it now. Just deal with these idiots if they crop. But I've got my moderators as well, you know, looking after me. So cheers, guys. Yeah, thanks. Brian Gilson, no, love your live streams. Oh, thanks very much, Brian. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, well, I do these streams, guys, to entertain you all and talk to you all, you know, because obviously I haven't met you in person. Yes, so this is my way of socialising with you all, talking to you and that. I look forward to it as well. You know, coming on every Thursday, having a good chat and that, and you know, a nice crowd and that. You know, have a nice night and that. Talk about movies and that. Oh, I could talk about movies, guys, till the cows come home. Love talking about movies. I love watching your live streams as well, you guys, when you do your live streams. Very, very entertaining. You know, have a good laugh at them sometimes. That some of the things you come out with and that, you know, some of the funny things that happen in the movies and that, you know. But yeah, I really enjoy doing the live streams. I enjoy doing my videos, and as long as it's a nice atmosphere, you know, no trouble, no nitpicking, no arguing, no accusatory finger pointing. You know, that's what I want. I want to keep it that way as well. It's pure entertainment. You know, at the end of the day, the world's bleak enough as it is, isn't it? You know, you only have to switch on the news and it's not depressing news all the time. So this is a nice way of socialising. It's the next best thing to going out and having a drink with all your mates, isn't it? You know, talking to you all on live and that. And yeah, I think it's a great thing. You know, it really is. Fishing is brilliant is saying, don't stop the chat, it's okay. Oh, thanks very much. Yeah, cheers. I'm not having a go at all. I just wanted to offer my view, and yeah, that's fine. Yeah, air your views to your heart's content. I just don't want any nastiness to creep into it. You know, I don't want any nastiness to it, either to me or to any of you guys, because I won't tolerate it. You know, I don't like arguing. I don't like nitpicking. I don't like anything that gets out of hand like that. You know, I think it's just unnecessary. The Dr. Impossible saying, do you fancy living in Thailand, Alan? I think the UK is going down there. I know what you mean, yeah, the bleep, yeah. Right, Walk On Always Believe is saying, I can and will watch and read what I decide to watch and read, and no woke press can do anything about it. I live my life, they can't and won't control my life. Well said, well said. Top marks to you, mate. Couldn't have put it better myself. John Beeston, yes it is, yeah. Fishing is Brilliance is saying, I do understand that there's a few people who are extreme with what they think. Well, you've had extreme people right through history, haven't you? You know, even going back to the biblical days, you know. I'm moderate and I can understand where you're coming from, yeah. Well, it's like, if you want to sort of like bring another aspect into it, it's like, you know when he brought the video nasty censorship thing out in the 80s and that, when you got all these nasties and that, a lot of the movies there was nothing really nasty in them, and they ridiculously put them on the video ban list and that. You know, it was like that. You know, there was a period there where they were getting a bit heavy-handed. You know, with the censorship, you know, with the VHS, you know, dictating what you can watch and what you can't watch, you know. But I remember that quite well, actually, yeah. But as I say, there was a lot of movies on that list that didn't need to be banned. So there's a bit of stupidity there as well. You know, a couple of my friends on YouTube have made very good videos about that, about the censorship and that with the VHS videos and that. Yeah, that was bloody going a bit too far, I thought. Right, Fishing is Brilliant is saying, Ian's work isn't really ideal for a modern day work. Some words are inappropriate to use. It's all about making people feel happy and safe. Yeah, we've all got our opinions, haven't we? I didn't see anything offensive at all in Enid Blyton's books, especially not the famous 5, and especially not the words she liked using. It's truth. Right, Dr. Impossible. A lot of this starts at school, then colleges and universities, and then the media. All bodies promote it. Yeah, there's a lot of brainwashing going on now, isn't there, guys? You know, you're getting these sort of like ones that they think they know what's best for us and that. You know bugger all. You know, at the end of the day, it's up to us what we want to watch. You know, as long as it's not causing any harm, you know, you're watching it and that, you know, it's not having an adverse effect on you. You know, you're quite happy to watch it. Just come away. Oh, that was only a movie. You know, that was only a book. You know, there's no harm in it at all. So I think, you know, a lot of them. Guys, I don't know if you agree with me a lot. There was a time when you got these sort of like these ones that like they thought they knew best about films. They blamed a lot of the horror movies for the crime and that. You know, that's bloody stupid. That a lot of top authors and horror directors have said, well, you've got to be pretty warped to begin with to let a horror movie have an effect on you. You know, I mean, like, that's just stupid. That thousands and thousands of people around the world watch horror movies, you know, and it doesn't, you know, don't think anything of it, you know, so you've got to be pretty nutty to begin with to sort of go out and say, what, shoot a school and that, or, you know, stab somebody for no reason. It's just got to be in you, I think, you know. Yeah, that's stupid, that, attributing the blame to horror movies. I just don't subscribe to that theory at all. KW, burning books will be next, and we all know where that leads you to. You sort of like you've kindled a memory there of Ray Bradbury. You know, he wrote that book, didn't he? Fahrenheit, was it 911 or 955, something like that, where they had these special teams, didn't he? Like they were like firemen. Well, they were firemen, I think. They were putting all the books in a pile and burning them. You know, burning them in the streets. Yeah, I wasn't too keen on that story. That Ray Bradbury one, but yeah, that sprang to mind when you said that. That sort of like evoked the memory of that Ray Bradbury story. Yeah, they made a movie about it as well, starring Julie Christie. I didn't like that either. I didn't like the story, and I didn't like the movie with Julie Christie in. Yeah, 2 major bore fests and a very, very bad message they were sending as well. I believe, like, another thing that enraged me, guys. You know the novel by Harper Lee, To Kill a Mockingbird. I believe they're trying to ban that as well. Well, that was highlighting the problem, wasn't it? Again, that was a product of its time. This busybody teacher or something. I don't want to say too much about it, give any names, but this busybody teacher, he got up with something and he said, "Oh, we should ban To Kill a Mockingbird. It's out of date. It's irrelevant." Well, I say BS to that. To Kill a Mockingbird was on my when I done my English literature, when I took my O-level in English literature. To Kill a Mockingbird was one of the books I had to read and study. You know, like Frankenstein. You know, books like that. You know, it's just bloody stupid. You know, why are they doing it? They're just targeting everything. It was probably Uncle Tom's Cabin. It's been butchered beyond recognition. It needs to be stopped. Just needs to be stopped. Make sure that some of these ones are doing it. They're on bloody acid or something. Cinema Chaos. Evening, Alan. You okay? Great stream. Oh, thanks very much. Appreciate it. I'm fully with you. The change in art, books or movies, people seem to be very fragile these days. Too fragile. Too fragile. It's a pity they didn't have the same sort of like attitude, as I say, towards the crime and that, the knife crime. You know, people getting attacked in the street for no reason. You know, just going for a night out and getting a bloody nutcase, sticking a knife in them. You know, and you know, these bloody nutcases on motorbikes roaring round everywhere and that, causing a bloody nuisance. You need to get tough on them. Never mind almost stories, it's entertainment. They're just basically, you know, people said this on YouTube, celebrities have said it, they're trying to wipe our history completely away. And it's unacceptable. It's really unacceptable. They mustn't be allowed to get away with it. It's just ridiculous. Walk On Always Believe is saying, this is my opinion. Everything from its past should be left alone. Yeah, spot on. Uncut, untouched. But the only two things I'd like cut is animal cruelty. Yeah, I'd like that cut as well. It's not very nice seeing that in a movie. And child abuse. Again, I'm with you on that. Yeah, they're the two things, main things that should be cut. Definitely. Yeah, 10 out of 10 there. Which should be totally cut. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. Things like that should be cut. Yeah, but harmless things like in fairy stories, no. They're even watering down the fairy stories. You know, the popular fairy stories like Grimm and that. Oh, it's just ridiculous. It really is. Jamie's saying, Ricky Gervais has said, are you offended? So what? His comedy takes on very taboo subjects. He doesn't care if it offends. Sometimes humour can tackle subjects, gets conversations going with a smile. Exactly, yeah. As long as it's tinged with a smile and it's not causing any real lasting damage. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. A Ricky Gervais he's perfectly entitled to, you know, his opinion and that, you know. And if people don't like it, then tough. You know, at the end of the day, he's not killing anybody. He's not causing any real damage. You know, it's just a source of entertainment. You know, and he shouldn't be. People shouldn't start criticising him for his acting. That he's only an entertainer, for God's sake. You know, we all like to entertain people in our own individual ways, don't we? You know, so you know, people shouldn't sort of like start, as I said before, pointing the finger at the accusatory finger and saying, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that. As long as it's not causing any real harm, more power to to us all who want to do our videos in our own individual way. As I say, as long as it's not causing any offence, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I can see where Ricky's coming from there, Jamie. Yeah, good points. Pete's saying happy birthday, Alan. Oh, thanks very much, Pete. Yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, thanks. I didn't realise it was your birthday. Yeah, yesterday I was born on St. David's Day. Yeah. Hope you had a nice day. I did. Yeah, and I've got loads and loads of movies to show in my next pickups video. A couple I bought beforehand and that because I knew I was getting the money off a couple of people, so I bought a couple in advance, so I'll be doing that. Well, I've actually filmed it this afternoon actually, so if it's not on, I don't think it'll be on tonight, but all going well, it should be on tomorrow. So yeah, I enjoyed it, Pete. Yeah, thanks very much, but I do wish it was, I must admit, Pete, I do wish it was 21 again. Yeah, so it only seems like yesterday. I was 21 because I remember it was the Falklands War was on, you know, and I say it just seems like yesterday, but yeah, I had a great day. Thanks very much, mate. Yeah. Right, John Beeston saying happy birthday, mate. Oh, thanks very much, John. Yeah, cheers, mate. Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks. Dr. Impossible saying, how can someone be gender neutral? I know, yeah. Nature, God creates a man and a woman. I know, yeah. There's a famous politician who shall remain nameless, who could not say, what was a man and what was a woman. I'm not mentioning any names, but there was a certain politician that couldn't give a straight answer. Yeah, oh God, I couldn't believe what I was watching. It was like something bloody worse than Monty Python. You know, oh God. To be calling bloody, I said to my mum, I think the aliens have already landed. The way some of them are behaving now, it's that the aliens are taking their mind over, doing these weird things and that, you know. Because I cited the example of the Invaders. Any of you guys remember that series with Roy Thins in, where he was the only one that saw, he was driving along in the country and he saw this big Martian ship coming down, and they basically spread themselves through society, and he was the only one that knew them because they had this like mark that the sort of like distinguished them from, ordinary earthlings and that. That was a cracking series, that, The Invaders, yeah, because you didn't know until you saw the mark on them. They had this mark, I don't know where it was, but they had this distinguishing mark, and that sort of like differentiated them, that marked them out as a Martian. But I was only saying to my mum, about this, like, it seems that the aliens are already landed, and as I say, like, if they're not walking among us, it seems that they've infected some minds, the way that people are carrying on. Jeff's saying, your dad looked like Patrick McNee. He did, yeah. And could do Al Jolson. I know. He's wasting his time, wasn't he? Yeah, he looked like Patrick McNee, and he could do Al Jolson impressions. But yeah, you should have heard him do Al Jolson. Oh my days, he was really good. Yeah, no wonder wherever he went, people would say, "Come on, Des, get up and give me an Al Jolson." Yeah, and and when he actually sang, if you close your eyes, you actually thought it was Al Jolson. Yeah, oh yeah, he was that good. Yeah, I'm not messing it. He was really good. Really good he was, yeah. Huge fan of Al, he really was. Jamie's saying, Mary Poppins now considered racist. Oh, that's ridiculous, that. Mary Poppins racist. And she suts up her face to look like a chimney. Oh, that's bloody stupid, that. Suts up her face to look like a chimney sweep. That was all part of the fun of the movie. The new Peter Pan film. Oh, I heard about that, Jamie. Yeah, the new Peter Pan film, The Lost Boys, now has girls in it. Yeah, I was only looking at that before. The whole subplot of Wendy being a girl to the boy. Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? But I tell you what, Disney's suffering in regards to the views, because I read like there's thousands and thousands of people that have basically boycotted it and that, and they're sort of like what they're trying to do now. I don't know the full story, but from what I can gather, Disney are trying to sort of like cancel them now. They're not letting them look at the video or something. But as I say, I don't know the full story of that. It's only what I've read so far. But yeah, it's a huge flop, that. Yeah, people aren't too happy about them messing around with characters, what we've what they've loved for years. Yeah, it's very bad when they're doing that. It really is. You should leave the stories alone. They'll be starting on Charles Dickens next. Walk on always believes something I can't stand is a racism card. Whites can't do this, but blacks can. You can't be racist to a white person. Yes, you can. We're a race like any other race, yeah. Cinema Chaos is saying, if you hide history, you will never learn from it. Exactly. I used to love, when I was at school, guys, I used to love history, learning about the explorers and that, and the Industrial Revolution, and Robert Peel, forming a police force. I loved all that. I'm fascinated by it, and the primary sources and the secondary sources, if you know what I mean. The primary sources are like books that were written at the time, and then the secondary sources were books and pamphlets that were written afterwards. Oh, I loved all that history, yeah. My favourite subject at school were obviously English, with being a writer, history and art. They were my three favourite subjects, yeah. I wasn't too keen on maths. I hated maths. I didn't like technical drawing. Any of you guys did do technical drawing at school? Oh, my days, I hated that. Yeah, but oh yeah, I loved history, yeah. And even to this day, I like getting the odd history book, reading about battles and that, World War II battles and that. And a couple of years ago, I had, real massive book about the American Civil War. I rented it out from the library, and had all the actual, sort of like paintings and photographs and that, of people that were involved in the battle and that, yeah. Oh yeah, it was a lovely book, yeah. Oh yeah, I love history, yeah. I think it's disgraceful what they're doing, trying to erase it, like. Right, John's saying, John Beeston, I never judge anything or anyone, but people are judge everything, yeah. Chestnut 7 is saying, there's more sex and violence than ever on TV and movies. What about that being toned down? Yeah, as I was saying, alright, they want to put a little bit in here and there. That's fine. If it's sort of like relates to the story, I've got no problem with that. But what I don't like, it seems to be every other 5 minutes they put it in, and that, the story's going nowhere, the characters are shallow, there's no real plot, and it's just one long bore fest. And what makes it worse, when you start putting bloody jump cuts in and flashbacks. Oh my days, I hate that. I hated it in the Elvis movie, the new Elvis movie what they made. It started off in this like weird psychedelic, weird psychedelic roundabouts of jump cuts and that, going from one scene to another and then to another. And I didn't like Tom Hanks playing Parker. And it was more about Colonel Tom Parker, that really, wasn't it? That Elvis movie. I did want to like it as well. That's a sad thing, and that, I was really looking forward to it. Even my mum, huge Elvis fan, she fell asleep. That's how bored she was, and I was very close with myself, but I prefer the Kurt Russell one. The one that started off as a TV movie and it went on to the cinemas. I prefer that one. Granted, the guy who played Elvis, he didn't do a bad... Was it Austin Butler? He didn't do a bad job. Yeah, but I didn't like the beginning was the worst part, when it was going from scene to scene to scene. But I know it's one of those Marmite movies, isn't it? Some people like it and some people hate it. But yeah, as I say, I really wanted to like that movie. It's a shame, the way, the direction it took. But what can you do? Brian's saying it's slowly turning into the Christian Bale film Equilibrium, where anything like books, paintings, music and film that makes us feel emotional gets destroyed. It's very, very frightening, isn't it? It smacks of totalitarian. I don't want to get too political, guys, because I'm not really a great lover of politics and that, but it does smack of totalitarianism, what they're doing and that. I can't understand why the government isn't sort of like doing more to sort of like curb this. It's all right them saying it's terrible, don't agree. Why don't they put their words into action? They're just ruining people's entertainments. Well, you can't say, guys, these ones that are interfering with history and our pleasure, they can't be beaten. The only way I can see is don't buy the books, don't go to see the films, don't watch the trailers, and that way they will lose money and they will have I hope they'd have a major rethink. Just don't subscribe to them in any way, shape or form. As I say, I won't be buying those Bond books when they come out in April. I certainly won't be, even though they're publishing the Roald Dahl classics side by side, I certainly won't be buying those revised ones. And I hope one single person doesn't buy them. That'll teach them a lesson they'll never forget. Jamie's saying Magic was fantastic. Yeah, it was a great movie, that. Yeah, what an underrated performance too from Hopkins. Yeah, oh yeah, I love that movie, Jamie. Yeah, it's a great one, that. Yeah, I say I've got that in my collection. Yeah, he's great in that, Anthony Hopkins. Chestnut 7 is saying, Brian, yeah, that's it, Fahrenheit 451, that was the one. Yeah. Brian's saying, too, Chestnut 7, I totally agree. Yeah. Walk on, always believe. There's a YouTube video called What Are We Doing to White People? I haven't seen that. Please watch it. An Asian guy trying to help us whites cause the world gets away with being racist and offensive to us and gets away with it. Oh, right, I'll have to check that one out. Gary Taylor's saying, I have The Boys from the Black Stuff. Oh, I love The Boys from the Black Stuff. That's one of my all-time favourite TV series, that. Yeah, all about it. Unemployment in Liverpool in the 1980s. Oh, and Bernard Hill. God, he was magnificent playing that role. Yossi Hughes, yeah, gives a job. Go on. Gives a job. The one where he builds the wall, and it's all, it's sort of like it's a mess, basically. Yeah, and when he has to fight with the policeman and that, oh, it's great. So many memorable scenes in that movie, guys. Yeah, tragedy tinged with humour, and Alan Bleasdale, he was really on the money when he wrote that script, and I believe it's being adapted now, isn't it, in Liverpool as a stage play. But obviously there's sort of like, a lot of the content they won't be able to include. But it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. But getting back to Gary's comments, Boys from the Black Stuff, a classic TV drama. Was it Alan Bleasdale? Yeah. Because it makes you cry and laugh. It was Alan Bleasdale, yeah. I would put Alan Bleasdale on a level of John Sullivan, who wrote Only Fools and Horses. He had that, both writers had that special knack of making you laugh and cry. They had the knack of getting it just right, getting the balance just right. Tragedy and humour, which is the two things are often linked, aren't they? Yeah, but they've done a great job with those stories. They really did, and I quite often get Boys from the Black Stuff out and watch it and that, and it's I lived through those times. I was unemployed for a long time, guys, in the 1980s. I was writing after jobs, getting no reply, going to the job centre, filling forms in, you know, in the old days when you used to go to the job centre, they'd have all the cards on the board, and you'd look at the vacancies, like when you get past all the heads, stand on tiptoe and all the heads in the way. You'd look on the board, and what you'd have to sort of, like, if you didn't have a pen and paper, you'd have to mentally note the number and go up to the clerk and that and give the number, and then you get the job up. Well, you know what I mean, guys, if you've ever been in the job centre in the 80s or even the 90s, you know what I mean, till he started bringing the terminals out where you just, you know, type the search in. But I went through all that, guys, yeah. You know, employers not replying, job application after job application, not even getting a reply, which I think was pure ignorance, you know. I don't know how many on spec letters I wrote, you know, writing to companies and that, you know, but oh God, yeah, very, 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 very depressing times, you know. Well, of course, there was a lot of cuts then, wasn't there? You know, Margaret Thatcher done a lot of cuts and that. There was a lot of trouble with the miners, wasn't there? Arthur Scargill in 1984, the miners' strike. Yeah, very, very bad times then, and times I would not like to see repeated. You know. But, oh yeah, very, very bleak. But Boys from the Black Stuff summed it all up, you know, perfectly, how bad it was, you know. And the part where they're going, where the old guy dies, George, last ride, where Chrissy's wheeling round the Albert Dock, and it's all, you know, before Michael Heseltine came in and, you know, revamped it and that, all the shops and that. Very, very desolate state, you know, very, very barren. And, oh yeah, it really gets to you, you know, the poor old guy in the wheelchair, and he said, I can't believe there's any hope, you know. I can't believe this. That's it. I can't believe there's no hope. You know. Oh yeah, so many scenes and that, and the part where they're all in the funeral, where they're all in the pub. You know, all the characters and that. You know, and this guy comes in, this big guy with a bald head, and he goes up to Yossi Hughes and goes, shake hands, and Yossi takes his hand and he crushes his hand. Yossi crushes his hand, whereas, you know, when the other fellas shook hands with people, he crushed their hands. You know, they go, oh, my hand, you're breaking my hand. Well, you've seen it, guys, you know what I mean, don't you? You know, you'll know what I mean about that Boys from the Black Stuff, yeah? And, you know, and the priest getting drunk as well. Well, apparently, Alan Bleasdale said that, you know, he based that on real characters that were in Liverpool, what he'd seen at first hand. You know, a lot of characters in those Liverpool pubs. He drew his inspiration from those characters. What you get. I mean, I met a couple. I don't want to go on too much, guys. I met a couple of characters myself when I've been to Liverpool, good and bad, in some of those pubs in Liverpool. But oh yeah, fantastic series. Yeah, definitely. I would have liked to have seen him do another series, but Alan Bleasdale just wanted to leave it at that. Well, he done like a pilot, didn't he, called Black Stuff, which I think was screened in 1979, and that was so popular, Bleasdale decided to expand it into a full series. Yeah, oh yeah, love Boys from the Black Stuff. Yeah, fantastic. Danny's here, Danny Dukes. Hi, hope everyone is good. You okay, Danny, mate? Thanks for dropping by. Nice to see you. Gary's saying, I have just pre-ordered Frankenstein, the true story with James. That's a great one, that. Leonard Whiting plays Victor Frankenstein. Oh, that's one of my all-time favourites, that. Oh, yeah, especially the Arctic scenes. You'll enjoy that, Gary. Yeah, it's great, that. I bought the Blu-ray last year. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I remember watching that in the Christmas of 1975. I was utterly enthralled. You know, stellar performances by James Mason, Nicola Pagis, Leonard Whiting, you know, even David McCullum makes an appearance. You know, the guy used to be in the Sapphire and Steel and the Man from Uncle. Oh, I love Frankenstein. Michael Sarrazin plays the creature, very fine actor. I think he's Canadian, but yeah, you're in for a treat. Yeah, definitely in for a treat with that one. Right, Dr. Impossible saying, I'm sorry, Alan, I'm diverse, I'm a diverse film nerd. Are you offended by that? I'm not offended by, as long as, like, people's got their own opinion, they're entitled to it, you know. I just don't like arguments, like getting, you know, aggression, anything like that. I've got an opinion, you've got an opinion, all the YouTubers got their opinions on different, we can't all agree, can we? Let's face it, we can't all agree. I mean, if we agreed on you know, if we all like the same movie, you know, it'd be boring, wouldn't it? You know, if everybody liked the same film, you know, it's nice to disagree and say, well, I thought this one was better. And you know, when like when the YouTubers put the top 10 lists and that, it's always nice to see how what they do, how they compare what you pick. You know, because they even say, don't they, the YouTubers? Yeah, you know, what would your top 10 list be? I'd be very interested to know. You know, so yeah, oh yeah, I'm not against anybody who's got an opinion, that, you know, diverse opinion. That's your opinion. You're entitled to it, just as I'm entitled to mine. You know, that's fair, yeah. It's just the way the whales go, and like, you know, it's not very nice the way they're tampering with history. I think it's a big no-no, you know, and I always speak for thousands of people when I say that. Jamie's saying it's a surprise they haven't banned Blazing Saddles. Oh yeah, the Mel Brooks movie, yeah. Oh God, I think I saw that. Was it around about the 1980s? Yeah. It's like a spoof western, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh yeah, you know. So no film's safe now, really, when you think about it. You know, no book safe, no movie safe. As I say, you just wonder what they're going to bloody ban next. You know, it just needs to be stopped. You know, it's just ridiculous. Young Frankenstein as well. You know. Danny Duke's Blazing Saddles is a great film, yeah. As I say, it's a western spoof, isn't it? And doesn't Frankie Lane sing the song, He Wore a Blazing Saddle? Love that song. Walk On, Always Believe. Oh, sorry, you've not received them. Yes, Alan, no, I haven't got them yet. I sent them a few weeks ago. There were 5 or 6 ghost spooks. No, I haven't got them yet, no. I'll go to the post office tomorrow to see what's going on. Did you send them recorded delivery? Because I know sometimes, like when I've sold things on eBay, you know, people said they haven't received them, you know, so it's always best to send them recorded delivery. You know, I know sometimes, like if you've sold like a DVD, say for £6 or £7, if you play, by the time they take out their chunk, and then you pay a recorded delivery, you've got nothing left. So, but it is always advisable to send them, you know, by recorded delivery. Right, Jeff's saying, Alan, there's an unfinished controversial Jerry Lewis film called The Day the Clown Cried. I haven't heard of that one, Jeff. With Jerry trying to entertain Jewish kids in the German concentration camp. It was deemed, wait for it, offensive. Oh, well, it's an offensive now. You know, it's bloody ridiculous. It just just implodes on itself. It blows and just bangs, and that's it. You know, end of. We don't want this sort of thing. It's supposed to be a free country. Well, a free country, free will. Well, most of the world's free, isn't it? But you know, they shouldn't be telling people don't read this, don't watch that. Oh God, it is. It's just awful. It just sickens you. Doctor Impossible. Tootsie was a good film. Yeah. Tootsie Roll. You can't even offend the new look of men and females. You can't even offend the new look of men in the female skirts. Just when you board the aeroplane and see some of the cabin crew wearing skirts, the male cabin crew, if they dare, like. I can't see it myself, really, even though some of the airlines have sort of like relaxed the policies on gender, what do you call it, gender neutrality, I believe the term is. Making it more like inclusive. I hate that word as well. There was what's the name on the radio today? They wanted people to ring in and say what words it got on the, you know, really got on the wick, you know. But yeah, that's one word I'm not too keen on. Walk On, Always Believe. I agree, Alan. There's a man and woman. That's it. Yeah. There are men transitioning to a woman. And they're getting into martial arts fight. They're getting into martial arts fights, fighting women, which is wrong. Bloody hell! Anybody seen that film? Where it's got that big twist at the end where it turns out she's a bloody man. Oh, what's it called? I always forget the name of that. There's 3 of them. Oh God! She's in a camp in America, and all along you think she's sort of like. Is it Blood Camp Massacre? You think it's a man, but it turns out it's you think it's a woman. It turns out it's a man, because you see the naughty bits at the end, if you know what I mean. Yeah, but they made 3. Sleep. That's it. Sleepaway Camp. That's the one. Yeah. But God, what an ending that was, guys. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, you know, it's like some of it you can laugh at, but at the same time, in reality, all this gender blare, and it's not funny at all. Poor Dick Emery'd have a hard time now, wouldn't he? Doing, oh, you are awful, but I like you. He used to push them like that. As I say, no book's safe now, no movie's safe. Nobody's safe, really, from the Bannock Brigade. But as I say, let's just hope it implodes on itself, you know, and it dies a quick death. As I say, more and more people don't watch the movies and don't buy the books. I think you'll have to have a major rethink. Jeff's saying, I've never understood why that airline why that airline gave men the option to wear skirts. Absolutely, yeah. There's a couple of airlines done that, Jeff. Yeah, and they're ruining the uniform as well. They're giving the women the option to wear bloody boiler suits. When you think of a stewardess, what do you think of, Jeff? You think of a well-groomed woman, don't you? A nice face and that, nice manners and that, very, very smart and that. And what they're trying to do, they're trying to make them more like casual. Wearing trainees and that, big clod-hopper shoes and that, and bloody boiler suits. Oh, yeah, as I said, that's why I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, guys. There's a big stink about it. The airlines, changing the uniform and that, making, men can wear skirts and that, and women can wear bloody jumpsuits, monstrosities. Even the cabin crew said they don't want to wear the jumpsuits. It's just ridiculous. It's just going from, but as I say, it's just going from bad. Even the bank staff as well. A big bank, they said, like, the staff now, they don't have to wear shirts and ties and, skirts. They can come on, they can serve the customers in bloody jeans and it's bloody stupid, isn't it? Jeans and trainers. You like to see a bit of professionalism, don't you, when you go to a bank or a hotel or board a plane or anywhere like that, anywhere that provides a service. You like to see a bit of smartness and professionalism. You don't want to be served by bloody fag Ash Lil. You're on the right plane. Oh, I almost changed me trainers. Bugger that. Oh, makes you cringe just thinking of it. Walk on, always believe. Also, men transitioning can't legally go to women's toilets. That's terrible, that. Which I totally disagree with. It's bloody insanity. It really is. Oh, do you know what? I said this to me mum many times. They want to round the whole lot of them up who's making these stupid decisions, banning people, finding offence in the least little thing. You want to round them all up and just sack them all. I could think of a better thing to do with them, but I'm not going to say that here. But yeah, they're just ruining society, and I just don't know where it's all going to end, guys, to be honest with you. And when I heard about Roald Dahl's books and James Bond, one after the other, I had to make those videos, guys. I had to. I know they were a bit vehement, and I can be very. As you'll probably know, guys, once I start on a subject, if I don't like a movie, I let my feelings know. I like to express my feelings without causing offence, because I know everybody's got different tastes. But I like to express how I feel about it. I like to warn people if they haven't seen it, by all means go and see the movie, but I'm just saying what I think of it. I always say this, I'm not trying to put you off, I'm not saying it's the worst movie ever. This is just my opinion, so don't sort of like take my opinion in stone. I'm just saying what I feel about something. If I say I don't like a certain movie and it's got a lot of fans, that's just my opinion. It's just like you people, you've got your own opinions on what you like and what you dislike. Yeah, as I said before, it'd be boring, wouldn't it, if we all thought the same, we all like the same book, we all like the same actor, we all like the same movie. It would be very, very boring. So yeah, it's all part of the fun, isn't it, guys, of being a movie buff. Right, Walk On, always believe is saying, if you think about it, the Bible is pretty horrific. It is horrific, yeah, definitely. I can see them woke prats trying to ban that, but I can't see the Bible has been banned. Well, trying to ban God, aren't they? And there was even talk in one of the churches about, what gender is God. I just don't understand it, guys. I don't understand this obsession with gender. I really don't. People weren't bothered about, one time people weren't bothered about that. A man is a man and a woman is a woman. There's no in-betweens. If they want to change their sex, that's up to them. That's perfectly fine, as long as you don't drag us into their stupid ban nonsense. They want to be a woman, let them be a woman, and vice versa. But, don't sort of spread it like the plague and ban everything, because that's bad. As I said, I've said it before and I'll say it again. It smacks of totalitarianism, and it should be stopped. It should be curbed. Just taking people's pleasure away. Stephen Davis, hi Alan. You okay, Stephen? Thanks for dropping by, mate. It's nice to see you. Bond has been going woke since that joyless Daniel Craig took over. I'm not a big fan of Daniel Craig. No. I've only seen trailers of his, and that was enough. I don't fancy his films. I like my favourite. I'm not a massive Bond fan. I like the movies, and I've only read little bits of the book, so I haven't read the book right through. But my favourite Bond was two Bonds, where it's Sean Connery and Roger Moore, because I think each one bought their own sort of like, they bought their own interpretation to Bond, didn't he? You know, Sean Connery, he was like really serious and that, whereas Roger Moore played him with a little bit of tongue in cheek, a bit of wry humour, which I found quite good, you know. But yeah, they're my two favourites. I didn't really go much on the others, to be honest with you. But yeah, Moore and Connery were my two favourites. Bonds. Well, that'll be one of my two favourites, you know, among the all-time favourites actors anyway, you know, no matter what movie they're in. Jeff's saying, to walk on, always believe, didn't the church recently say God wasn't a man and should be called a woman? Yeah, something like that, Jeff. Yeah, I don't know the full you know, line of thinking behind that, but yeah, I saw that in the news. And I raised my eyes heavenwards and hear the weary, weary sigh, as I always do when I see rubbish like this being bandied about on the television. Dr. Impossible saying, there was that case I read this week about a transgender man who was transgendered into a woman and then raped. That's the one I mean. He raped 2 women in Scotland. Isla Bryant was once a man, but still a man, it seems. That's the one. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. Jim Jam Movies and TV is here. Hi Alan. You okay, mate? Thanks for dropping by. Nice to see you. Hope you've had a good week. Trump of Hazard. The commie WEF want wokeness to create a division before digital ID. Oh, it's bloody stupid, it is. It's infesting everything like a horrible plague. Tom, the only people on the planet who could have rewritten Dahl and Fleming were Dahl and Fleming. Yeah, and you're getting the Fleming estate now saying like Ian Fleming would have approved the changes. Would he though? Would he? Alright, I know he did make a few changes when he was alive to some of his books because he thought they were a bit racist and that, but would he approve of these petty changes? I doubt it. Roald Dahl certainly would have had something to say about his books being pathetically unnecessarily tampered with. Right, Dr. Impossible saying, Christ, that case in Scotland sounds like Dressed to Kill. I know, frightening. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Trump has a gender neutral as an abomination before God. Certainly is. Jeff, it's my birthday in 5 weeks, Alan. A good time to have a birthday, Easter time. Oh yeah. Oh right. Yeah. Hope you enjoy it, Jeff. Yeah. Don't need too many Easter eggs. They're going to be banning the bloody Easter Bunny next. I can see it now. The Easter Bunny's been banned. Father Christmas has been banned. Well, he done that with Christmas, didn't he? Didn't he take a lot of the? He took a lot of the holy images off the Christmas cards for fear of offending the Muslims. Which it's just ridiculous. The people said that, the Muslims said it didn't bother them having holy pictures on the Christmas cards. It's just beyond belief, guys. It really is. Right. Walk on always believe is saying, personally, I see nothing wrong with the world. I think the world is beautiful. Yeah. The problem is people. It's bad people. Yeah. Who cause harm, steal, con, smoke, abuse, woke, bully, yeah, etc. The problem is human. I totally agree. The problem is human. Yeah. Thankfully, the majority of people I think are good. But you get these minority that are causing trouble. They cause wars. Setting people against each other and that. And these tyrants that get into power and that, they're the cause of all the misery in the world. And that's been going on. Well, I don't need to say, do I? But since time immemorial, this has been going on. I see somebody said before about the Bible. It's got a lot of horror in it, a lot of horror in those sorts of chapters and that, which it certainly has. And you don't want to start interfering with that. That is our history, our major history, the Bible. And once you start interfering with God's word, you wonder what you don't get struck down by a bolt of bloody lightning. Like the priest in the Omen. Right, walk on always believe the bad people should be put on an island with I've said this to me mum, round all the bad people and put them on an island with nothing there, or in prison with no telly, no showers, no fancy food and no roof. Yeah, another applause. Well said. I totally agree with you. The trouble with these bloody convicts now, when they go down, you get PlayStations in the cells, colour televisions, a wonderful, lovely Christmas meal. You know, what pensioners would give their right arm for, who were struggling to pay their bills. They're getting these bloody convicts in prison, living the life of Riley. Oh, you could go on about that. You know, they should make the prisons like the Victorian prisons. I know you would get the hand-wringing lefty saying, oh no, you can't do that, it's too barbaric, you can't bring back decay and it's too barbaric. Well, I'd say, stuff you. If it wasn't for the way they banned everything, the bloody place wouldn't be in the dire state it is now. You know, you can't like use the cane on a misbehaving pupil. You can't even, in some instances, you can't raise your voice to them, which is bloody lunacy if you ask me. You know, I feel strongly about that as well, guys. You know, I think they need to bring back tougher punishments for these ones that offend all the time. You know, it's just getting beyond the joke. Tom's saying Tinkerbell has to be black or else. Caused a lot of controversy, that the black Tinkerbell. Dr. Impossible saying, the problem isn't necessarily human, it's governments peddling this muck to the kids in school, the elephants in the room. Yeah, Big Brother tells us to conform to the new way of thinking. Yeah, well, the trouble with some people, some kids, are very easily brainwashed, aren't they, into thinking like certain things are good when in actual fact they're bad. So that's the trouble, you know, brainwashing. There's a lot of brainwashing going on. A lot of these ones in power trying to sort of like imbue their pupils with bad thoughts and that, you know, which I think it's awful. It really is. Trump of Hazard saying Joe Biden believes there is 70s. He believes there's 76 genders. Oh God, where was that? Yeah, I haven't heard that one. So how does he work that out? 76 genders? Are you sure he doesn't mean 76 nationalities? God blimey, that's the limit, that. 76 genders? What the heck? Oh, now I've heard everything. Right, Jeff's saying, I wonder if they will ban Black Friday for being racist. Well, they're banning everything black. So, well, you've got to have people walking around naked, are they? Banning certain types of clothes for people up to wear. Bloody hell, it's got... Oh, God. Beam me up, Scotty. Right, Trump of Hazard. What will be next in the commie rainbow flag? Incest and kids. Yeah, it's ridiculous. People should fight back more, not give them any airtime. You know, don't buy the... As I say, don't buy the books. Don't watch the movies. Don't give them any interest whatsoever. They start losing money. Well, hopefully they'll have a rethink. You know, go woke, go broke. That's a phrase that's getting bandied about lately, guys, isn't it? Go woke, go broke. Right, walk on, always believe. I never knew we shared the same birthday, Alan. Haha. We share it with Harry Belafonte. It said Harry there. I said about the hairy bikers. I say Harry Belafonte, Harry Belafonte, and Roger Daltrey of the Who. Yeah. Hairy bikers. Walk on, always believe. Have you seen the Cursed Films documentary? No, I haven't. No. Heard a lot about it though. I picked it up on Tuesday. Oh yeah, that's about all the movies, isn't it? Like The Exorcist and The Omen and Poltergeist. All weird things happened, didn't he, on set? Yeah. I've heard that's quite good. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, all sorts of weird things happened on the on set, didn't he? Eli Roth done a series, didn't he, about horror? I believe that's quite good. I think it's in 2 parts. Yeah, Eli Roth. Yeah. Trump of Hazard. Go woke, go broke. Exactly. Yeah. KW, I'm really loving your live stream. Oh, thanks very much, Kay. Yeah, I'm glad you like it. Yeah, even though like it at times it has become a bit vehement. But I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah. Well, this is what I'm here for, to entertain people. You know, I like people to speak. You know, if they've got an opinion, to voice it and that. As I said before, providing it doesn't go over the top. No arguments. I don't want any arguments on my channel. I just like everything to be, you know, fun, entertainment. And if you've got an opinion, don't be scared to hear it, and we can discuss it. You know, we can sort of like throw it up in the air and start discussing it. You know, so I'm enjoying it. I enjoy doing these streams. Danny's saying, are we going the way of the film V for Vendetta? Well, looks very much like it, doesn't it, Dan? KW, some of the banned films are available in Sainsbury's now in HMV, right? Oh, our HMV's closing. on the 12th of March for a refurbishment. They're opening again in April. So it'd be interesting to see, like, you know, if they put more films in or they put more merchandise in. Myself being a movie buff, I'd like them to expand their movie range. You know, it'd be great to see like extra racks full of movies and that. So fingers crossed, you know, you might see more films. Right, Danny's saying I am good. John Beeston, got to go now. Take care. Oh, okay, John. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by. Have a nice weekend, and all going well. I'll speak to you soon. Yeah. Cheers, John, mate. KW. To Kill a Mockingbird is a classic film. Yeah, with the late great Gregory Peck. Yeah. He played Atticus Finch, didn't he? The lawyer. Yeah. As I say, I had to read that book for me English literature O level. Yeah. Oh yeah. You know, they shouldn't mess with books like that. All parts of our history. What the hell do they want to erase our history for? Are they trying to sort of like sugarcoat it, are they? And saying everything was hunky dory. Well, history is littered with tragedies and deaths and that and all sorts of horrible things. Why are they trying to erase it? Why are they trying to say to kids it never happened? Kids should be made to learn about things that happened, so especially the Holocaust, so it won't be repeated. You know, they even tried to, I believe, they even tried to play that down at one point. You know, oh yeah, it's bad that, like, you know, it really is. One of the worst, the darkest episodes in human history, that Holocaust. Dr. Impossible saying, Bleasdale did a Channel 4 drama about two young men on the dole called Blood on the Dole. I haven't seen that one, Doctor. Proved pretty controversial when shown in the mid-1990s. Brilliantly acted, nothing like it today. I'll have to check that out. It wasn't Love on the Dole, was it? Was it Love on the Dole? I've heard of that one, Love on the Dole, but I haven't actually seen it. But that one, Blood on the Dole, no, I haven't seen. I'm not familiar with that one. Ken saying, this is all Chewbacca's fault, he was the first. Are you telling me that Chewbacca was the first Wookiee? How'd you make that out? I don't know too much about the Star Wars films because I'm not a fan, to be honest with you. But yeah, I don't know how you make that out. Chewbacca, he was the first Wookiee. Sure it wasn't Kermit the Frog. Halfway down the stairs. Remember that song, guys? The Muppet song. It was out in 1977. It got into the chart. Yeah, halfway down the stairs. I used to like that. Yeah, I used to like the Muppet theme as well. You know, time to play the music. But yeah, I used to love that. Jeff saying, got to go now. Great chat, Alan. Bye, Alan. Oh, thanks very much, Jeff. Yeah, thanks for turning up. Always nice to talk to you. And whatever you do over the weekend, hope you have a nice time. And all going well. I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Thanks, Jeff. Brian's saying Sleepaway Camp is a good horror franchise. Yeah, that was the one I meant, where it's a fella at the end we you see us say, oh, Amos is naughty bits, you know. Yeah, God, that was a shock. That, you know, I've got that in my collection. I've got the other one as well, a sequel. Yeah, I haven't got the third one. I wanted them in the slipcovers, guys. So if any of you see any slipcovers knocking round, let me know. There's a couple of movies, guys, I've got. I'm looking for slipcovers for. Super Host, I'm looking for slipcover for that. From Beyond, yeah, there's a few. The Psycho one, the 4K Psycho, I'd like the slipcover of that. Yeah, so I might do a video actually, guys, at some point, saying all the movies that I've got, what I'd love slipcovers for, because I did have I had Jaws. I had the Jaws 4K, but I didn't have the slipcover. But I did manage to get the Blu-ray slipcover, and that looks nice, that, over the 4K. So yeah, as I say, yeah, I might do a video saying, listing all the movies and that, and any slipcovers I need. So watch out for that one. Rock and roll hell. When it comes to changing history, I'm a bit on the fence, depending what it is. Right, well, everybody's entitled to their opinion. But when it comes to people transitioning male to female, it's none of my business. Let them crack on and live life. Well, as long as you don't start dictating to us, you can't watch this, you can't do this, you can't do that. That's when it gets bad. But if they want to change their sex, let them change their sex. It's a free country. But as I say, just don't start. They shouldn't start sort of like pushing it to like a near totalitarian situation. That's my point. Ken's saying they should ban Mrs. Brown's Boys. I've never been a fan of that Mrs. Brown's Boys, to be honest with you. Not because it's a man dressing as a woman, just because it's crap. I know it's going worse and worse every year, isn't it? It's had very bad ratings, Mrs. Brown's Boys. Yeah, not a fan of that. Any of you guys remember Dave Allen, the Irish comedian? He was very good, Dave Allen. Yeah. Well, he got a bit of stick, didn't he? In the 70s, from what I've read, like, but you know, he tried to say he was taking the mickey out of religion, because he'd always include a religious sketch, wouldn't he? In his like his shows, like, you know, he'd either be the priest or a pope character or a nun, and people got the impression that he was poking fun. He was poking fun of the Catholic Church, but I don't think that was his intention, really. I think, again, it was just in the form of entertainment. I don't believe he ever said what religion he was, Dave Allen. I don't know if any of you guys could enlighten me on that, but yeah, I don't believe he ever said what religion he was. He kept that a closely guarded secret. But I used to love his show, Dave Allen at Large, especially the part where he'd sit in the chair, you know, and he had half a finger, didn't he? He'd sit relaxed in the chair and that, and he might say a horror story, wouldn't he? And the lights would go down and that, you know, and he'd launch into this sort of like funereal monologue. And then you get the punchline at the end, like, you know, and the lights would come on and that. I used to love Dave Allen, yeah. Not for everybody, you know. He's sort of like, I suppose he's one of those early controversial comedians, wasn't he? You know, especially when, you know, as I said, he thought he was skitting at the Catholic Church. But, you know, a lot of people reckon it was just part of his, you know, like they said about Bernard Manning, he was accused of being a racist, wasn't he? He said he wasn't a racist, it was just part of his act, you know. He said he took the mickey out of everybody. And I seem to recall in an interview he done, Bernard Manning, he said, like, you know, everybody, he just takes the mickey out of everybody. No real offence intended, you know. Rock and roll hell, too much hate in this world right now. You can say that again. Terrible what's going on in Ukraine with that Russia, isn't it? Chestnut 7 agenda, yeah. Ken, ban all the spanning. Yeah, ban all the spanning, yeah, definitely. Good title for a future video, I think. It's terrible that though, Disney, the way they're ruining their films. A lot of families now, I read it before, guys, a lot of families, they won't touch Disney, they won't go to the theme parks and that. They don't like this woke makeover, what they're giving Disney and that, you know, say banning Ladies and Gentlemen, which I think is one of the most stupidest ideas ever invented. That you can't say Ladies and Gentlemen, and shame on all of them for, you know, for banning that. You know, I don't know what planet they're from, to be honest with you. It's stupid. Somebody should, like the British Airways, somebody should bombard the chairman and say, when are you going to stop all this madness, you know, bringing out crappy uniforms for your staff and then banning harmless phrases like Ladies and Gentlemen, you know. Oh, it's just stupid, it's ridiculous. KW, not keen on Daniel Craig as Bond. Roger Moore is my favourite, yeah. I used to like Roger Moore in the, I used to like him as well as Bond. I used to like him in The Saints and The Persuaders. He was very good in that with Tony Curtis. They had a great chemistry, them. Those two, The Persuaders, you know. Oh yeah, I love The Persuaders. He first watched it in the autumn of 1971, and oh yeah, love The Persuaders. Sorry guys, the comments have jumped a bit there. Stephen's saying, strange times, Alan. Indeed they are, Stephen. As the BBFC are more liberal than ever. The house on the edge of the park is fully uncut now. Well, that's good. That's nice to know. Yeah. One thing I can't stand is buying a movie and thinking you're getting the genuine thing, only to subsequently discover that it's been cut to ribbons. You know, nothing infuriates me more. You know, cutting scenes out that didn't. Half the time, they didn't need to be bloody cut. Let's face it. Oh God. So you could go on and on about it, couldn't you? You know, it's just pathetic. KW, Dress to Kill. Oh, hey, missus. Oh, hey, missus. Yeah, good film that, though, being serious. It's a good film, that one. Dress to Kill. KW, good film by Brian De Palma. Yes, indeed, yeah, I agree. Walk on Always Believe. Have you noticed people tend to target the people's work once they have passed? Yeah, I made that point in my videos. Yeah. The man, you know, the man's gone. Roald Dahl, Ian Fleming, both gone, and they're targeting their work. Yeah, they're not here, are they? So sort of like, you know, say, hey, you can't do that. Yeah, it makes you think, doesn't it? I know why. It's because they can't defend themselves and fight back. Yeah, exactly. Because they're no longer here. That's right, yeah. So they think they can do what they like. Those authors should have left a clause in the contract to say, you know, when they're gone, you can't touch me work, you know, under any, even my own estate. You can't edit one word of my work. You know, I'd certainly do that. You know, make sure none of my books were tampered with, you know. They should leave, as I say, that's part of history, you know, people have said this all over YouTube, celebrities, you know, all sorts of people have said it, part of our history. You can't wipe out the past, for goodness sake. They need to get a life, these bloody idiots, they really do. Yeah, people should just stick their two fingers up and say, up yours with your banning. We just won't buy your books, won't watch your films. Right, Chestnut 7 is saying, even JC said, spare the rod, you spoil a child. Yeah, that was Max Bygraves made a movie, I think it was in the 1950s, where he played a school teacher all about caning and corporal punishment, called Spare the Rod. Quite good. Yeah. I watched it on one of the YouTube channels. Last year. Yeah, it's quite good. Yeah, Max Bygraves, he was a good singer, him. Yeah, he only made a couple of films and that. My mum loves him. She's got all his LPs. Yeah. Ken, I wonder who Trump of Hazard supports. Trump of Hazard. Remember the Dukes of Hazard? Daisy Dukin. Used to be on a Saturday night, yeah, like the Night Rider with David Hasselhoff, yeah, and Chips, yeah. Used to watch all them, and he used to be on. Walk on, always believe prison is supposed to be punishments. Exactly, it's supposed to be punishments. This is how I see it. Someone does something bad. Congratulations, gets a rent-free prison room with games, films, fancy food and a gym. Really? Punish them? Well, you know, of course, all that, don't you? All these do-gooders, you know, and do-gooders certainly doesn't mean, you know, what people think it means, doing good. They're doing bloody bad. They're doing the opposite. Just slap them on the wrist. Oh, you naughty boy, you mustn't do this again. We'll send you to a nice, comfortable prison and rehabilitate you. Oh, but let's face it, some of these scroats don't want they don't want bloody rehabilitating, do they? The only language you understand is the bloody, you know, proper punishments, you know, solitary confinement, things like that, you know. That's the whole point of prison, isn't it? You know, sending them there to be punished so they wouldn't want to go back in there, or I'm not going back in there. That's what punishment means. You don't bloody mollycoddle them. Oh, they're pathetic, you know, some of these ones that's in charge. They really are. They want the bloody heads banging against the wall. I don't know why they ever got voted in. You know, people voted for them and that. I don't know why, like. Rock and roll hell. Ken, I know, right, coming in with Republican fairy tales, right? Right, guys, I think I'll go on to about 10:30 tonight because I've really enjoyed it. So instead of finishing at 10, I'll go on till 10:30 if that's okay with you guys. Yes, I'm really enjoying this. Walk on, always believe to KW. Agreed, Alan's channel is great. Oh, thanks very much, mate. Yeah, cheers, I appreciate that. It's honest and real. Also, Alan's a lovely person. Oh, thanks very much. Yeah. I say I do my best. You know, I don't go out of my way to upset people. You know, I like to have a nice, friendly, inoffensive discussion. You know, it's not my style. It never has been my style to cause arguments or upset. I always like to be friendly with people. You know, I've met some great, as I said before, I've met some great people on here. You know, really, really nice people. You know, really genuine people I've enjoyed talking to, and it's always great to get together. You know, it's all on a Thursday night and have a little chat and that. You know, so yeah. Yeah, I really enjoy doing these live streams, yeah. And thanks to all of you turned up tonight. I really appreciate it. Dr. Impossible saying, well, Alan, just look at all the illegal immigrants coming into the UK. Get to live in plush hotels, get given NHS treatments, etc. Yeah, that makes my blood boil. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Ken saying To Kill a Mockingbird, those damn windmills again. They've got a bloody nerve, haven't they, tampering with the classics. I'll be ending that, you know, guys. I go to Waterstones virtually every Saturday, you know, when I go over to Liverpool shopping, and I'm going to be thinking to myself, when I pick a book up, I'm going to be looking at the edition when it was published, and if it's a recent one, I'm going to be thinking, Has this been tampered with by the P-brains, has it? You know, you start thinking that, don't you? Every boot now that's been published in the wake of all this wokeness that sprang up. You're going to start thinking, has this been tampered with? Has that been tampered with? Which is very, very sad. You know, it really is. Unbelievable. Walk on, always believe. History is one of the most fascinating things in life. Yeah, and I hope new uncut volumes get published because it's very important. Yeah, definitely. I would publish uncut volumes galore if I was a publisher. I'd just say up yours, you know, publish what we want to read. I'm not doing any harm, for goodness sake. They're even going to say about the Red Indians now. You know, movies with Red Indians in was offensive. Oh, it's just going to go on and on, guys. You know, it's total craziness. It really is. I don't know why I say the people that's in power, I don't know why they're not bringing laws out to stop it. It's like a war on free speech, really, isn't it, when you think about it? Danny Duke's Blood on the Dole follows 4 teenagers struggling with life after leaving school in a deprived area of Merseyside. That sounds good, that. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Thanks for that, Dan. Yeah, Dr. Impossible's saying, all paid for by the UK government and the Home Office. This country is being destabilised, yeah? And you've got all this, what's the name now, haven't you? You've got all this controversy with Matt Hancock. I won't go into it, guys, because I'm not a political person, but I couldn't help notice, you know, the headlines and that, you know, and the blonde girl that was helping them write the book, she's put a story, hasn't she, about the leaked messages and that, the WhatsApp. Yeah, so this has caused a bit of a stink. Yeah. Walk on, always believe. From Beyond with the gorgeous Barbara Crampton is a slipcover I'm after, but very hard to come by. I believe they've just brought the 4K out of that, or they're bringing the 4K out, and I believe the picture quality is absolutely stunning. So watch out for that one. I suppose it'll be about 40 or 50 quid, you know, but in time, of course, they go down, don't they, the longer they're out. But yeah, oh yeah, I love Beyond, yeah, written by H.P. Lovecraft, yeah. I like Barbara Crampton as well, loved it in Reanimator. Right, KW is saying, I'm surprised Mrs. Brown's Boys are still on TV. It's rubbish, yeah. Kay's saying Dave Allen was good. Yeah, he was great, Dave Allen. I used to like Dave Allen. I used to like that other series he done. I don't know if you remember it, Kay. I think he done it for ITV, where he went round Britain and you know, investigating people's you know, sort of like idiosyncratic hobbies, you know, hobbies that were different to what, you know, other people like, you know, what they collected and that, you know, that was quite interesting. Yeah, I think it was only on for about 6 or 7 weeks. I think it was shown in early 1977. If my memory serves me, I remember him going round, you know, talking to all these people, like they were sort of like eccentric, and all the things what he collected and that. Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, I forget the title of it, but I do remember him going all around the country, you know, interviewing people. Very interesting. Brian Gilson, I really like Dave Allen. Yeah, especially the teaching his son to tell the time. I think he was brought up a Catholic, but turned his back on it. Right? Yeah, and as I say, from what I've read, he never revealed what religion he was, yeah, so I don't really know too much about that. But I know he did get slammed a lot. But they said they thought he was taking the mickey out of God, you know, the Catholic Church. Ken's saying, I'm not into the transgender thing myself, but I could really do with a touch of makeup. Some mornings, just a bit of foundation. Pantomime Dame. They'll be banning them next, the pantomime dames, but the idiot. Oh yeah, guys, going back to Disney, do you know what they're going to do with Snow White? They're going to ban all 7 dwarfs. Well, that's what I read anyway. I don't know the full story of it. So what's Snow White going to? Who's her companion's going to be then? Transgender beavers or something like that. Transgender bears. Who's, you know, they're going to do away with the 7 dwarfs. So what's going to happen with that? If somebody could enlighten me on that, I'd be very grateful. Couldn't believe it. Snow White, they're doing away with the 7 dwarfs. Now I've heard everything. Gets worse and worse, doesn't it, guys? Right, Dr. Impossible saying Spike Milligan's BBC. I remember Q, yeah. I used to watch it in 1977. The Q series would never get shown today. Probably one of the most controversial comedy series ever shown. Even the BBC had issues with it back in the late 1960s and early 70s. So it was on before 1977 then, so they made a few of them. I only remember watching the The 1977 one. And what about all these alternative comedians, guys? I suppose we're going to lay into them as well, aren't they? You know, like Ben Elton, you know, the comedians that launched the alternative scene, you know, the club scene and that. But there's some of those, you know, give them the due. As I said before, when Jamie raised the points about Ricky Gervais, more power to them, you know, for speaking at, you know, doing that act the way they want to do it, you know, pass on the back, like, you know, to people like Ricky Gervais, you know, he's allowed his opinion, you know, just like we all are, you know, and if he wants to do his act this certain way, he'll do it, you know, you don't want to get, you know, busybodies saying, don't do this, don't do that, it's wrong, you know, and I bet you a lot of these comedians have highlighted this in their acts and that, you know, and they took the Mickey out Mickey out of these wokes, which I think is only fair considering what they're doing to people's lives. Walk On Always Believe is saying, have you heard of Old Mother Riley? I've heard of Old Mother Riley. I've seen a couple of the films. Yeah, Old Mother Riley is starring Arthur Lucan. Yeah, I believe she met Bela Lugosi in one movie. Yeah, Old Mother Riley Meets the Vampire, I think it was called. Is it any good? I picked up a few for 20p. Oh, 20p from my charity shop. Looks fun. That's the one. Bela Lugosi meets the vampire. I love black and white. Yeah. I saw a couple of Old Mother Riley films when I was a kid. I don't remember too much about them, but I remember them being very, very good. And I remember a guy called Peter Goodrice. Do any of you guys remember a comedian called Peter Goodrice? He took Old Mother Riley off in a couple of 70s shows. Yeah, he used to pop up every now and then. Yeah. Or do you remember that other comedian guys who used to wear the bowler hat? Freddie Paraface Davis. Every time he spoke, he'd blow a raspberry. You know, he'd go like, stupid. Come here, you go. I'm Freddie. And he'd make a raspberry, and then, you know, he got it down to a fine arse, you know. So he used to be on the telly a lot. Freddie Paraface Davis. He was even in the comics as well. Yeah, he was noted for blowing a raspberry every time he spoke. Yeah, he's on a lot, him, Freddie Paraface Davis. And of course, we have to go talking about the ventriloquist. You know, Roger De Courcy. He was good. Like, and remember Shari Lewis and Lamb Chop? She was quite good. They had some good ventriloquists in the 70s, yeah, you know, yeah, they stay in your mind, like, yeah. Keith Harrison, Orville, he made that song, didn't he? It got in the charts, didn't it? I wish I could fly way up to the sky, but I can't, yeah. He's no longer with us, as he sadly died a couple of years ago, Keith Harris, yeah. Right, on to the comments. Walk On Always Believe, House on the Edge of the Park is one of my all-time favourite films. Yeah, I'm excited to get it on 4K. So I'm looking for. I've only ever seen it once, and it was a very, very poor version. You know, very, very badly edited. You know, very, very bad picture. So I'm really thrilled, you know, to have it on 4K. I might watch that actually over the weekend. So yeah. Stephen Davis is saying, do you think HMV are refurbishing to reduce... I sincerely hope not. Refurbishing to reduce physical media even more. I hope not. Because I'm afraid if they do, they won't be getting my custom. Yeah, you've got a point there, Stephen. Yeah, I just hope not. There's all this streaming's caused all this, hasn't it? You know, and especially when COVID started, people started streaming, didn't they? You know, and it's sort of like it hasn't gone away really, has it? But I've said this before, I hope that streaming eventually implodes upon itself with me being a collector. I mean, I watch the odd streaming movie, I don't watch them all the time, but I prefer physical media. And you know, a couple of other YouTubers have said this in the live streams, they prefer physical media, and I wholeheartedly agree with them. You know, a fully physical media person. I love collecting movies. I like seeing all my movies on the shelves and that, you know, and it's my intention when I get me new new cabinets, my new DVD, you know, me shelving, I'm going to do a video showing all my movies, my whole collection. But I've still got to get some shelving, guys. You know, it's ready made. As I said, I've got no patience putting shelving together. So if any of you guys know of anywhere that, you know, that sells shelves that's already made, yeah, do let me know. You know, be very grateful. Dr. Impossible saying, Milligan did the Pakistani Dalek. Oh, put him in the curry sketch, yeah, or the Indian milkman, yeah. Forget Monty Python. Milligan was the master tactician of British comedy. Yeah, he was in the Goons, wasn't he, Spike Milligan, with Harry Seacombe and Michael Bentine. Yeah, very popular. The Goons. I used to like that song, what he sang, Ying Tong Idlai Po. Yeah, that was good, that. Yeah, I think that was out twice, actually. I think it was out in the 60s. I think it was out, I know it was out in 1973, because I remember it being in the charts. I remember Tom Brown used to host the Top 20 every Sunday night. Anybody remember him? Tom Brown, the radio and DJ. And I remember that. It got played a lot, that Ying Tong Idlai Po. Yeah, real fun record. That's another thing, guys, I've noticed. You don't get any novelty records now much, do you, in the charts? What was the last novelty record that was in the charts? The only two come to mind is Bob the Builder, which I think was it 2000? And the Sausage Roll one. I never listened to that one, the Sausage Roll one. Yeah, it was a hit around. Both of them were hits around Christmas. Yeah, but you don't see that now. Novelty records. That's what made Top of the Pops. Such a varied show. Walk On, Always Believe. Max Bygrave's song I love goes, say what you will, the countryside is still. I haven't heard that one. Ken, if they start on the Carry On films, there's going to be trouble, violence in the streets. Yeah, I think they've already started, Ken, butchering them beyond recognition, the swines. They've got nothing better to do with their sad lives, taking people's pleasure away. You better not censor that iconic scene, frying tonight. There will be trouble. I'll throw them all in the bloody chip, in the chip fryer. They do that. I'm sure Kenneth Williams wouldn't be too pleased if he was here. Right, he'd be saying more than, oh, matron. Chestnut 7, I wouldn't have Hancock's book if it was free. Right, I've never read any of Hancock's books, so I haven't really watched many of his TV shows. I can't really comment on Hancock. Stephen's saying, keep all your carry-ons on DVD. On TV they're often cuss. Yeah, I've got a couple of carry-ons on Blu-ray, so I hope to get that one that's come out by imprint. Got the first 4 carry-on movies in, but I just hope they haven't been bloody cut. I'll be looking at the duration. I'll be comparing the minutes to the minutes when they were first shown, the duration, and if I see a big say 10 minutes, 15 minutes missing, I will know they've been cut. Swines. Let's fight back against these bloody, killjoy wokes. Walk On, Always Believe from Beyond. That's great quote. I'm going to kiss you. Yeah, humans are such easy prey. Yeah. Clint Eastwood had a great quote. What was the film he made it in? Was it Unforgiven or was it Pale Rider? Yeah, one of my favourite movie quotes. Yeah, I forget who he's talking to. I think he's talking to one of the lads on his ranch, and he says, dying ain't much of a living, boy. I thought that was a classic quote that, dying ain't much of a living, boy. Delivered in typical dry Clint style. And the one where he's in Dirty Harry, where he's showing that, Scorpio moaning police brutality, and Clint's watching it with his boss and that, and he's watching it, he's taking it all in, and he said, he's just shown Scorpio, all his face, black and blue. Scorpio claimed that Dirty Harry had beaten him up, and he says something. I don't remember the exact words what Clint says, but he says something along the lines of that can't be me. I didn't do that. And his boss looks at him questioningly, and he said, "What makes you say that? What makes you say that, Harry?" He said, "Because he's too darn pretty," he said, "for me to have done that." Meaning, if Harry had laid into it, he would have been even more mutilated. Yeah. So I thought that was a great quote. That, yeah. And of course, go ahead, make my day. Yeah. Love Clint Eastwood's films. Oh yeah, such a screen legend, Clint. That's my favourite ones are the Dirty Harry films and the spaghetti westerns. Yeah. Right, guys, we've got on a quarter of an hour to go, so if you want to get more comments flying in, I'll do my best to answer as many as I can. If you want to ask me anything at all, not just about political correctness, anything at all about movies, books, anything at all, me work as a writer, I'll be very, very happy, to answer them. I actually, it's in my mind, actually, at some stage in the future, I might do a special questions and answers video So I'll let you all know anyway. So what I'll do, I'll get you all to ask me a question. Just leave it in the comments under the video, and then what I'll do, I'll make a video and I'll answer as many questions as I can. So keep that in mind anyway, guys. So that is definitely coming at some point. I can't say exactly when, but I've got that in mind. I've also got a video I'm going to put up inviting people if you want to be a guest on my channel. Rather than me go directly to approach different people, I'll put the video up and just basically say, if you want to come on my channel, leave your leave your comments down below, and I'll put you down on a list, and that I'll have a list of people and I'll fit you all in. I don't know how many I can fit in at once, because I say I always get a little bit when I'm doing like having a guest on. I want to make sure I get 100% right. There's no problems with the sound and that. So as I say, I might have to start off with maybe 2 and then go on to 3 and then 4. So as I say, that's coming as well. That video's coming as well. So I'd like to have at some point again. I'd like to start having guests on my channel. So watch this space. Chestnut 7 is saying Hancock can play Dozy in the Snow White film. A lot of controversy surrounding him now, isn't there? Dr. Impossible saying, well, he wasn't called Hancock or Mrs. for no reason. Horny Nick likes to get about it. Oh dearie me. Oh, matron. Can't have that. Dr. Impossible. Nick Hancock's portfolio was Minister for... Oh, right, yeah. We won't go into that. Walk on always believe. I was in HMB on Tuesday and a worker said they are not stopping the HMB premiums. Oh, that's good news. Which is why they've gone up to £15 each and £2 for 25. He said he thinks it's a stunt to get people to buy. Oh, right, so that's good news. Yeah, that's great news, that. Oh, let's hope that does come to fruition. I hope you're right, yeah. Yeah, I always like to hear positive things about the continuation of physical media. One thing I hate is hearing negative, gloomy things about them, sort of like discontinuing certain titles. But yeah, that sounds promising, that. Yeah, fingers crossed, eh? Right, sorry guys, the comments have just jumped there. Walk on always believe is saying, I'll not want to promote violence, but these woke prats and the BBFC cutting and editing all need a slap. They certainly do. They need more than a bloody slap. I can't understand, like, these corporations are so big. Surely there must be at least one person that would object. Well, of course, if they did, maybe they'd threaten them with the sack. I don't know. I don't know what goes on in these big organisations, guys. They're sort of like the soulless entities, really, aren't they, when you think about it? They're just all out for making money. They've got this sentimentality that doesn't come into it. With a lot of these firms, they're just plain business, aren't they? And ruthless, a lot of them are ruthless, got no feelings at all for the staff, treat the staff very, very shabbily. And as I say, I can't speak for every corporation, but I know it does go on quite a lot. And if you maybe just get like one voice in the crowd raising an objection, they could easily say, well, if you don't go along with it, you're sacked. So I suppose you've got to think of that as well, keeping their jobs. Chestnut 7 is saying, I meant Nick Hancock, not the great... Oh, no, yeah, I know you meant, yeah, Nick Hancock, yeah, I know you meant. Ken, most of the TVs in prisons are not ultra high D. That's part... Oh, it's not a shame, eh? Oh, the poor prisoners haven't got ultra high definition television. Oh, I think I'm going to cry. They shouldn't have any bloody TVs in their bloody cell at all. Not even a bloody radio. They're there to be punished, and punished they should be. Never mind bloody mollycoddling them. It's ridiculous, where it's gone soft with crooks and criminals. Bloody ridiculous. Need to get, people voted in power that won't put an end to all this nonsense. Walk on always believe. Speaking of Clint Eastwood, I think Gran Torino has the best quotes in film history. Oh yeah, Gran Torino. I love Gran Torino. Yeah, it's a great movie, that. Yeah, oh, he's fantastic in that, Clint. Sad, like, yeah, I won't give away the ending in case anybody's, any haven't seen it, but it's a fantastic movie, that, Gran Torino, one of his best, yeah, and fantastic. Stephen Davis, Clint Eastwood will be cancelled next. I don't think he'd be too happy about that, Clint. After all, he did have some power, didn't he? He was mayor of Carmel, wasn't he, in the mid 80s? So I don't think he'd. I think correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I think Clint Eastwood's very much against PC. I'm sure he said he was against all this spanning and that. Yeah, I'm sure he's against all this. Loads of N-words and Dirty Harry, right? Walk on Always Believe. Alan, do you know much about silent comedies? Not much really, no. I'm not really a fan of Charlie Chaplin, you know, not really into them. If so, can I describe one to you to see if it rings a bell? I've no idea what it's called or who's in it. Yeah, fire away. Ken, if Benny Hill was around today, he would be cancelled. Ball men are very bitter and vengeful. That's bloody ridiculous, that, yeah. Benny Hill, we thought nothing of Benny Hill. It was just harmless fun, you know. We used to play Fed Scuttle, you know. And, you know, when he was in the snooker hall, he played that guy with the big ginger hair and that, you know. And a girl only had to bend down, he'd miss his cue, you know. Ooh! You used to have a laugh at Benny Hill, you know. We used to look forward to him coming on. Harmless fun. I know a lot of the girls ended with their clothes getting ripped off, didn't he? You know, the policewomen and that, you know. He'd only had to tuck something and off the uniform would come and go, ooh! Just see them in the suspenders and that, you know. Harmless fun, no offence, not to be taken seriously. If people want to, you know, we've all got our own individual, as I said before, you know, we've all got our own individual ways of entertaining people, and that's perfectly fine in my book. As long as there's no real, you know, no real harm done, no lasting damage to a person's, you know, psychology, you know, we should be able to entertain people in any way what we wish. You know, we shouldn't be banned, we shouldn't be told off, you know, we should just do our thing, and as long as it's not harming anybody, what's the problem? This is the point we come back to again and again and again. It's just harmless fun. That's all it is. I think it's just ridiculous what they're doing now. Dr. Impossible. HMV Premium is coming to an end. All right. Warner Brothers pulled out of the premium label and nearly all the titles are OOP. What's left in stores has been cleared out, hence the offer. All right. Yeah, shame, isn't it? Really is. Well, the boutique labels are doing good, aren't they? The likes of you know, Vinegar Syndrome and Mondo Macabro and Criterion, they're all doing well. So I don't think physical media will ever die out. Well, fingers crossed it won't die out. There'll be a lot of bitter movie collectors if that dreadful thing happens. Stephen Davis, Warner Archive are releasing direct to the UK now. I've heard that about Warner Archive, yeah. You never know, they might release more Hammer films. Walk On Always Believe, Hand That Rocks the Cradle needs a HMV premiere with a nice poster. It certainly does. That's very hard to get on Blu-ray, isn't it? The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Yeah, I think, I'm not sure, did I see a copy on Amazon Germany? I'm sure I saw a copy on Amazon Germany. I'll have to check out, because I buy quite a lot from Amazon Germany. I'll have to check that out again. I'm sure I saw a Blu-ray of that on Amazon Germany. Yeah, so just over 5 minutes to go, guys. I say keep the comments coming in, keep the questions coming in, and I'll try to get through as many as I can. Really enjoyed it tonight. It's been great. A huge thank you to everybody who's turned up. You know, really, I really appreciate your company. Right, Dr. Impossible is saying to Stephen, that's correct. Warner decided to ditch premium, then Paramount did the same. Warner is experimenting with a small batch of titles on their own label. All right. I'll tell you what movie I'd like to pick up, guys, although it's a trifle expensive at the moment on the Criterion label. They are quite expensive. The Ghost Story, The Innocents, starring Deborah Carr. If any of you have seen that, you know how great a story that is. You know, yeah. She plays this sort of like this like woman. She goes to look after these two children, you know, in this big country house and that, you know, and you don't know if there's a real ghost there or if it's all in her mind. It's a great movie, that, The Innocents. If you haven't seen it, it's based on the novel The Turn of the Screw. So if you haven't seen that one, I highly recommend it. If you like a good ghost story, check out The Innocents with Deborah Carr. So yeah, I want that one. The Criterion have done a release of that, and Rosemary's Baby as well. I've got a I've got a good Blu-ray of Rosemary's Baby there, but Criteria have done one as well with extras. I think Roman Polanski is interviewed on it, so that's another one I've got my eye on. But yeah, definitely, yeah, I'll definitely at some stage I can see myself getting those at some point in the future. Right, Dr. Impossible saying The Hand That Rocks the Cradle is owned by Disney. Oh, really? I didn't know that. No chance. Oh, right, yeah. I didn't know Disney owned the rights to The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. That's news to me. Richard Brown, the ginger bloke with the afro was called Gina Tom. Was that his name? Gina Tom. Was it Gina Tomcons or Gina Tomcons? Gin and tonic. He used to have these stitches in when he had that big afro red wig on. He played snooker and go, ooh, look at a girl bending down. When you go like that, you miss his cue. Oh God, yeah. And he used to play that China fella as well. When he used to, Henry McGee used to interview him, and Henry McGee he'd mispronounce a word, wouldn't he? And the China and Henry McGee would repeat the word about 2 or 3 times, and the China fella played by Benny Hill, he would say, yes, that's the one, and he'd look at the camera and say, ruddy idiots. Oh God, yeah. God, magical TV moments, guys, in history that should never ever be erased. And of course you can get all the Benny Hills now on DVD, all the Benny Hill shows, yeah. So any Benny Hill fans, like, if you haven't got them, it might be worth picking up. I used to love the song, yeah. And he drove the fastest milk cart in the West, two ton Textron Teddington, and he drove the baker's van. And what's the other one where he has like a gunfight, but it's like a pie fight, a stale pork pie caught him in the eye, and then Ernie bit the dust. Oh God, I remember that when it got to number 1 in 1971. I used to love that one. My dad loved it as well. He was a huge Benny Hill fan. Yeah, Ernie, and he drove the fastest milk cart in the West, and he got his cocoa there 3 times. Oh, we all know what he went by, cocoa. Oh, here, missus. Yeah, he got his cocoa there 3 times every week. Yeah, and of course, Ernie's ghostly gold tops rattling the crate. Oh, that's a fantastic song, that. Yeah, he made another one as well. Was it called? What's it called? The Harvest of Love, Benny Hill. I think it was in the 1960s. Yeah. He put on like this country accent. You like the Weasels, yeah. So check that out, guys. The Harvest of Love, yeah. There's another one as well. Tommy Cooper made around about the same time. Don't jump off the roof, Dad. You'll make a hole in the yard. That was quite good. That was another novelty song, yeah. And he says to them, "Get yourself up to the park, Dad, and there you can jump in the lake." Oh God. Oh, some of those novelty songs, guys. You had me in stitches when I was a kid. I used to like the Goodies as well. The funky, that'll be banned now, wouldn't it? The Funky Gibbon, the bloody idiot. It's only about bloody zoo, bloody monkeys in the zoo. Yeah, and the in between is and Father Christmas, Do Not Touch Me. Yeah, they were good. The Goodies, Bill Oddie, he sang all the songs, didn't he? For the Goodies, Bill Oddie had a good voice. Yeah, I always remember that one with the Black Pudding Bertha, with they had all the big sticks of black pudding, and they were going around thwacking each other, and they had these big hats on like handicap. Yeah. Oh yeah, I used to love the Goodies. Yeah. So we've got a couple of minutes, guys, to go. Yes, I'm finishing at 10:30. So as I say, ask me anything you want. Right, Walk and Always Believe. Thanks, Alan. In the Black Country Museum round here, I remember a comedy where a baby crawls on a plank of wood, and a guy tries to get the baby to safety, can't find it anywhere. Oh right. Oh, I haven't doesn't ring a bell with me, that one. Chestnut 77 RHMB shut about 4 to 5 years ago. Yeah, the one in Birkenhead shut a couple of years ago. Used to like going in there, yeah. So the nearest one now is Liverpool, and then when I go out to Chester, I usually pop into the Chester one, and if I go to Manchester, I usually pop into that one. But yeah, it's very sad to see a lot of those stores close down. And the Debenhams in Liverpool, that hasn't been well, Marks and Spencer's going to take that over, I believe. The huge Debenhams store not far away from the Liverpool Law Courts. Yeah, that was a nice store, that Debenhams, yeah. And when I used to go to Manchester, the Debenhams out there, I used to pop in and have a breakfast, like, you know, before I went round shopping in the Arndale Centre. I used to love that, like, you know, when I got off the train and slipped into Debenhams. They'd done a lovely breakfast, guys. They really did, you know. And then sometimes I'd have like a hot buttered scone. Yeah, it's all gone, you know. It's just, as I say, as the song goes, things ain't what they used to be. Max Bygrave sang that, by the way. Little bit of information there for you. Right, Ken. Trump has been accused of doing blackface because of all the false tanny, because of all the false tanny users. Not orange face, no. Walk on, always believe. I'm sorry again, Alan, for not being here the last few weeks. Oh, don't worry about it. It's okay, mate. I quite understand, mate. And I'll pop to the post office tomorrow to see what's going on, as I sent them from the post office. Oh, thanks very much, mate. I appreciate it, yeah. And I hope you managed to, find out, get to the bottom of it. Cheers, mate. Right, so I'm going to wind down in a minute or so, guys. So I say it's been great tonight. I've really enjoyed it, and apologise before with those idiots like gate crashing, you know. But I say, you know me by now pretty well. I don't allow that sort of thing on my channel, coming out with stuff like dodgy comments like that. You zap it right away. And thanks to all you guys as well, me moderators. Yeah, cheers, guys. Yeah. All right then, guys. I'm going to love you and leave you all now. Again, thanks very much for turning up. I really enjoyed it, and watch out for me huge birthday haul video that'll be coming up in the next day or so. And all going well, guys. If I'm not banned for saying something quite harmless, you never know these days, do you? All going well. Hopefully I will be back next Thursday, same time, same place, with another live stream. I haven't decided what the theme's going to be, but it won't be political correctness, I can assure you. So I'll probably go back to an aspect of movies, yeah. Alright then, guys, have a nice weekend. And if you go Blu-ray hunting or DVD hunting, I hope you manage to pick up some bargains. Alright, guys, take care of yourselves. Bye for now. Bye.